Welcome back to Castle Mac Presents Princes of the Apocalypse. Thank you guys for hanging. I know we're starting a little late tonight, but we've got a lot going on. So, last we left, you guys had rested in the top of the temple, and then you encountered a genie.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And with a short
That
amount
went
of
well.
And it was
provocation,
maybe the easiest fight I think we've had to date.
I mean, who's dead and
Let me
who's
get the
not?
music started.
but you guys did, well, technically Adara did not survive, but was revived by the cleric of the
And has
party.
I
not
was-
survived.
Excuse me, I was revived?
You were revived. You were
Revived.
I was not revived.
Yeah, just for people watching, we have an ongoing argument about whether it's revivify or revivify, and no amount of pronunciation guides is going to solve this one for us.
I heard
It's
it
not-
in a
no.
show recently, and it
It's
said
not going to
revivify.
solve it for
In
me.
a show?
Yeah, I was watching something and it was like, wait, yes, and, it was like revivify.
No. You don't revive something.
How is that even a word, though? Doesn't it mean the same thing as revive?
Is revivify in the dictionary?
Well, it's Middle English, guys.
You are kind of
Well,
blowing
I
my
speak
mind.
top English.
All I'm
English.
saying is, when someone dies, you don't revive them. You know?
You also don't.
I don't disagree.
revivify them.
There we go.
In either case, you guys can debate that. We'll maybe have a poll question on Twitter, or you know what? It's a good opportunity. If you're not already, join our Discord and we can talk about it. There's a link down here. In either case, you guys were in Red Larch. You decided to sleep it off and reattune to a powerful weapon that should help you in your fight.
Mm-hmm.
You two lived it up.
Yes, we did.
The entire helm on the high sun was ready for it.
We had a party.
You
Good
guys
old-fashioned
partied.
party.
An old man party.
That's a bit of storytelling.
Ain't no party like an old man party. Because an old man party is about 9 o'clock.
It's like when my parties end.
Also, toddler parties ended about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's that night.
Same night?
The same night.
Have they
It's-
gone to bed yet?
They've gone to bed. All of you have gone to bed, unless you decided to set a watch order. It didn't sound like
we-
anybody.
we-
We decided not to.
No.
Okay. So everybody went to sleep. Henrik, as you're asleep, you don't have any particular dream itself, but you just feel a sense of relief. Like just a burden that had been lifted subtly. And for whatever reason, you visualize your holy symbol. And you can see each of the gems, the 4 gems that are on there. And the clear diamond that's at the top sparkles just a little bit more. Effectively, you now have resistance to lightning damage.
Wee.
So do I.
To lightning? Oh yeah, from
Yeah.
your from
Yeah.
from your thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're right.
Is that from your
Mhm.
definitely not evil spear?
Mm-hmm.
And as you wake up, look at your holy symbol. It does it almost. It's not putting off any light of a glow, but it's just the gem seems clearer, less cloudy, and it has just a luster to it. It catches the light a certain way. You can feel it. Broderick, I need you to roll me a Constitution,
Oh.
please.
Oh, it's a hangover
What?
roll.
No, it's for old age.
Yeah, just to see if I die in my sleep.
It's a save.
That would be a 14.
Okay. You sit up a little fast. For a moment, you think you might lose it, but you swallow. There's a jug of water next to the bed that you don't remember setting out. I think Adara may have.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
And you.
Yeah, did the old chug.
But you're able to push your insides back to where they need to go.
They belong.
Adara, you have a number of dreams. They just piece together. You dream that you are flying on the skies itself. And you're so enthralled. Your hair is on fire and is pulled back and licking. Flying, and the winds just keep picking up. It's just getting exponentially faster and faster and faster, and they come at different directions, and you're pushed. And what started as a graceful, pleasant flight quickly just shows you in a torrent of almost like a hurricane as you're continuing to spin and spin and hurtle through the ground. And then you wake up. You have a full rest, but it started out so well. It's morning. You guys have all started stirring and waking up.
Broderick would definitely, put the pillow over his face.
Close the blinds.
Could someone please close those blinds? Stop that cock from crowing.
I believe it's time we got up, Broderick.
Not yet.
Oh, we're upstairs, right?
You guys are upstairs, yeah.
I'll meet you downstairs.
Be right along.
I head downstairs and... Oh, never mind, I get breakfast because
No food
ain't no
here.
kitchen.
No food here. They do have set out in... You've been here enough times. You know, it's somewhat the equivalent of a continental breakfast, except they've got a little... They've got a little bread out. They have... it's like bread and butter. They have a few fruits available. They've brewed tea for sure. I mean, it's just kind of down there in that sitting room. It's nothing to write home about, but you could snack on something if you wanted to.
I think actually, walking out the door, he has the thought that I should go to the temple after my dream and feeling a little more connected, so I put my head back in. On second thought, you take your time, I'm gonna head to the temple for a bit.
He would have already fallen back
Yeah.
to sleep.
Be like, take his time, you will.
You head to the temple.
Excellent.
Okay. You walk out into the morning light. Again, it's just that overwhelming feeling of a good day at this moment. The sun is shining. You know, there's a nice cool breeze, and you know, plenty of people are nodding at you, and in the same way that anytime you're in a good mood, it just doesn't feel as abrasive as it typically does to you. It pings some bits, but it seems nice. I'll get back to you. Adara, what are you doing when you wake up?
Oh man. I'm probably mad that we're still hanging around. I think that I would I've never been to this town.
No,
That's
not at
right,
all.
yeah, you're not connected to Red Larch in the least.
Mm-mm. So I think I would want to go out and see if I can like get any information about, I guess, anything really.
Yeah.
Just talk to people and see like what kind of brooding knowledge they have.
Fuck yeah. You know what? I think there are rules for that, right? That's not correct. No. I was thinking it would go into the downtime activities of like searching for information. What is there anything specifically or within a realm that you're looking to know?
Maybe about any fire elementals,
Okay.
if anyone has any knowledge about that. Really, because of Windvane, I'm trying to just get any reason to get like pumped up and pissed.
Got it. Okay. Go ahead and roll. I want you to roll.
I'll roll my mad dice.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make 2 rolls.
Okay.
One is gonna be a charisma, just a straight up charisma, almost like a saving throw. It's just a straight up charisma check.
Okay.
And then the other is gonna be an investigation check. Combined, we'll see where that's at.
Okay. Pink is charisma, orange is investigation.
Okay.
Charisma, I got an 11. Investigation, I got an 8.
Okay. A lot of the people you're surprised when you wake up know exactly who you are. They're like, you must be Adara. Or other people have heard about you. I mean, And some of them ask you questions, specifically, and be like, and when exactly did you defeat the 4 genies that you fought? It's exaggerated as hell from what happened.
I know what happened. Like, I know. Like, oh, fuck.
What?
A lot of people are enthralled to meet you, and some of the same level of what's pushing you to gather this information, there's just a zeal to it that people are responding to.
You know what? I have no charisma, but because people are like amping it up for me, I think I'm playing off of it. What is it? What was the word?
Mercurial?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Like I'm in that poll right now. Like I'm amping it up, and I was like, there were 10 genies.
Yeah, there's a small bit of like your thirst for information and the fact that people aren't being weird to you and are somewhat celebrating you. There's a small level of mania to it of like, yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you. At the same time, they want to hear a lot about what you've done. Information that you're trying to glean, especially if it's even as you subtly are like, yeah, but what about the fire ones? Has anybody heard about that? They just don't.
Yeah.
Like, no. They'll tell you about the Druid Circle because they heard it from Broderick. But that's
basically all the knowledge in this town came from this too.
Yes.
It's like drunk.
It's that. You do learn a bit more about, though, because people are talking, you get about where Red Larch is. Like, you understand it's kind of a caravan town, and that the two of them, along with Nas, saved the town. They uncovered this big corruption. There was a necromancer too, and there was a bunch of like town elders that were involved in a vile bit of the cult that seemed to be at least peripherally involved with the Earth cult. It seems like they didn't fully understand that, but there's been a lot of change-ups in town, and you also get that the town seems to be growing. At this time in the land, any level of security people will flock to. So the town feels incredibly indebted to them.
I know when we went to that shop with the pastries and the
Margabar.
Yeah.
Lauren's Bakery.
There you go. There's some thieves' cant around any of that in Red Larch.
Only there.
Only there.
Only specifically there. You don't see it anywhere else. Actually, I changed my mind. There was what used to be a market, almost like just a grocer, and there were some there, but you quickly heard that was somebody who was involved in part of the conspiracy around town and was also making fake printed money in the back. It was just a thing where oh yeah, he got kicked out. So, but and it's empty now. But you see a bit as you've kind of investigated around the sides. The back door had thieves' camp symbols written around it.
Right.
But so you do glean about as much information as they would have about this area and what has transpired, but nothing useful beyond that, and knowing that even by proxy you seem to be pretty celebrated.
Cool.
But yes, Henrik, you reach the temple. Imdar is not back yet. You guys took off right from Waterdeep from that. He just couldn't travel that fast, He had, I think, made plans and I'll head back to Red Larch, but he certainly hasn't arrived yet. You do find a lot of people kind of shuffling in and out, a lot of people making small prayers, and again, the Shrine to Tempest seems to be overflowing with small offerings, and a lot of them you see now are weapons. They're nothing incredible, but somebody placed a dagger, somebody else placed a short sword. It seems to be a couple arrows and arrowheads. It looks like it's starting to have, frankly, heavier offerings than any of the other shrines in here.
I think I'd stand back and kind of look at it with a little bit of pride, feeling a little responsible, because I'm sure when I first came to that temple, there was not really anybody giving a shit about Tempest.
There was Imdar and the other priestess, Tashanti, and, one or two people that were awkwardly nodding, making their offerings and leaving. And I suppose as you look around, though, I mean, it does seem like there are just more offerings and prayer going on in general than before. But yeah, there's it. I think it continues on your good feelings. It's just validation.
I think you could sit down and do more of a standard prayer rather than the usual desperate Tempest, please listen to me prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling so worried about it anymore.
Yeah.
Despite, I assume, not feeling any more presence from Tempest himself than before, still feeling like more has happened surrounding that, so.
You know what? I think with that feeling and everything, you're gonna get an inspiration, my dude.
Oh, thanks.
I think that's just how inspired you're feeling right at the moment. Which will take a quick second to discuss inspiration. These red beads are player-given inspiration. Beads. And they can be given out by players to other players for good role-playing, sweet things they've done, or typically if you think somebody needs it.
Or just if you're married to them.
But you can trade them in for a blue bead. And you have inspiration, which is a reroll here.
Just to spite Andrew, I will give this to Lydia because I think she's playing up her newfound flaw from Windbane pretty well. That's a hard
I'm
one.
gonna give this one to Steven.
Yeah, so it's not like just if you're married.
Just mostly.
Because he bought those new Bardic Inspirations, and they're pretty cool. And they don't say fuck on them, so our kid won't have to read it.
Yeah. That's a good story. Can I tell that real quick?
Yeah.
So I used to have sticky notes that I would write my Bardic Inspiration notes. I thought that'd be something dumb. And I wrote one for Andrew that said, "Don't fuck this up, my dude." And I left that out. And my daughter was like, "Dad, what does F..." I have terrible handwriting. She said, "What does FVCK mean?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just a D&D thing." Just threw that away. Thankfully, she didn't know.
And now that she can read, we really have to
Yep.
be careful.
Yep.
Yikes.
That's pretty good.
Yes, on everybody's. You are absolutely playing up your flaw, and I love it. Broderick.
Can I look up the exact definition for... Never mind, I'll do it later.
For Mercurial?
Yeah. I want to know, like, the Webster's.
It's like
Being
bipolar.
like Mercury.
It's like a rapid mood change. Like you're...
That's what I thought it was. But it's not a word that I use very often. Just want to
Doesn't
make
come
sure I
up
got
Like every other day.
No. Not really.
understood correctly.
Maybe you might be like, this tuna's tasting quite mercurial.
You know
It's
what?
full
We
of
can all...
mercury.
That's why I only eat one can a day.
Yeah, can you go to the filing cabinets and revivify those files that we put in there
That we put in cold
from last
storage.
year?
You mean revive?
Hey, thank you, Ink Betweens, for some bits.
Ooh,
Getting you guys
thank
closer to divine favor.
Thank you.
Yay.
That's so sweet.
Appreciate that.
People are so sweet.
People are so sweet, especially people in here watching us.
Hmm
Exclusively people in here watching us.
They're the sweetest.
They are the
Right.
sweetest.
Just like red vines, America's favorite sweet treat that's made special occasions even sweeter for
For
generations.
generations.
God, if Isabel came downstairs and she's like, "Do we have a red vine?"
Oh, we need to
And pick her up and put her on the lap in front of the DM cam and be like, of course we do.
I love red
For
vines.
you, there's two.
Get a producer to...
You're the best, Daddy.
The zoom in. And God bless America.
All right, now that we've produced a red vine commercial,
Yeah, they have no reason to sponsor us because we're doing all the work for
I
them.
know, yeah.
Yeah, I want controlling share of the company.
We should just talk about how mediocre red vines are until they
Yeah,
sponsor
until they
us.
pay us.
They're
They say
okay.
hold them hostage.
Like a different
I had a
Twizzler.
Twizzler the other day and it was just fine.
Oh, thank you, Castle Mac Raven, for giving us some bits with a tombstone. I don't know
Oh, what?
why I had a tombstone,
That's-
but
Okay.
I don't follow.
in any case, you have searched, gone around town, met a lot of people. You have reflected in the temple and feel great. Broderick, You've had plenty of time to sleep.
You hungover.
Yeah, he would definitely get up very late and come. Like when he does wake up, he's gonna be doing the swearing thing, you know, like just swearing his way out of
How
bed.
I wake up every morning.
Yeah, basically.
FBCK.
Yeah,
SBCK.
SBCK this, man. Just old knees cracking as he steps onto the floor, like just swearing, like as he runs to the water basin, like every time, like fuck.
Do you have any sunglasses?
You have those goggles. Goggles.
Maybe he will wear those because it is perception, so at least the sun would not be directly. Yeah, he would wear them. Just so I imagine when he looks at people, he's like the huge eyes. Yeah, he's gonna wear the goggles.
You're the king of this town. You can do what you want.
That's
then
right.
the next day, everybody else has goggles on. I would be like, bro,
Hood up, got your goggles on, shuffle into the tavern.
Yeah, so I think he would seriously put those on and like hobble outside, like heading towards food. Obviously, gonna try to fill up his stomach with something greasy. But he was definitely be dressed like I think he looks like the dude right now, just so disheveled, like hobbling across the street, swearing to himself.
I'm gonna go buy some coffee creamer for your white
Yeah,
Russians.
exactly.
You shuffle in. Not as many people in the morning crowd recognize you. I mean, it's just typically not the same as the
Right.
night crowd, but some do, and some look up. But as you look around, most of the people who recognize you saw last night, and a lot of them are
Also pretty wrecked.
just trying to eat, and so a lot of the people in there. It seems somber. Not with any sadness, but just everybody's a little heavy.
He would grab a plate for himself and eat that, try to choke it down, and then he would order 2 more plates, knowing at least probably where Henrik is, but he would also look for Adara. But he would head to the temple.
You head to the temple?
Yeah, with a plate of food for Henrik.
Okay.
oh, man.
On the way, you do see Adara, and Adara, you see him, and as you see,
Yeah,
She's-
just shuffling with 2 plates of food.
and she's almost feverishly talking to people. Doesn't look crazy, but you can see that she is present and engaged in these conversations, and,
Mercurial, if you will.
and people are talking to her. Did you bring the spear with you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
She's
You never know when lightning will
She's
strike.
holding what is a huge,
Her new motto.
it stands out. This is still somewhat of a dusty caravan town, and your spear cannot get dirty. It's,
Right.
So
Also,
it's
her
just-
hair's
And I'm
on
also
fire.
on
and your
fire.
hair's on
Yeah,
fire,
so-
so she's standing slightly over people, and they're like, kids are looking at the spear, and
Try to touch my hair. Like,
and you see him.
Yeah, he kind of.
Oh, I'm not sure if you already had breakfast, but I didn't see you there. Bought this just in case.
Roderick, how are you feeling?
Oh, well, I've been better, but
I was dead yesterday.
this is true.
I feel fine. Are we ready to go?
You've got the
Are we-
snap recovery of the young.
When are we leaving?
Well, I suppose we need to discuss that. I don't know where we're headed next. We need to decide.
Where's Henrik?
Probably at the temple. I'm going to take this.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy.
Let's go. I'd just be eating while walking.
Like toasting the bread on your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you would probably walk ahead and he'd probably have like a heavy sigh. Like you're all like amped. He's like,
Right.
It's like when you're hungover with the kids.
yeah. That's exactly right.
You assume.
So you guys
Imagine.
eat in the temple.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what etiquette is, but we would certainly come in and be like,
Henrik, my friend, sorry to disturb you. You haven't eaten yet, have you?
If not,
Here you are.
I think we can step outside, I suppose.
All right, well,
I don't suppose you came here for your prayers.
no, suspect not, but now that you've called me out, I am feeling a bit guilty. Perhaps I'll stop in a moment. Young Adara here is ever so anxious to get going. We should discuss what our plans are. Previously, we did discuss spending 2 nights here in Red Lodge. which I think could do us all a bit of good. We could head out bright and early tomorrow morning, well rested, of course. Or sooner.
Can't tell. Do you have a preference?
Or make the bad choice and leave now, which is, ill-conceived and
Disappoint your grandpa.
It is morning, and a half a day of aimless standing about does bother me a bit, but perhaps we could think of something productive to do while we're here.
Surely we're all exhausted down to our core.
I've
It's
asked
like-
everybody in this town and they don't have any information.
No, I would think not. Red Lodge isn't exactly a paragon of knowledge, I would think.
Well, where is?
Oh, well, Candlekeep. More closer, Neverwinter. Suppose Waterdeep.
Why aren't we going there?
Oh, what knowledge are you lacking, dear? Perhaps we could fill in some gaps.
I just want to get to where we're going next.
Where are we going next?
That we could decide now. The when can come later. Well, we have 3 choices, do we not?
As I see it, we've got the waters, the water cult, Riverguard Keep. What was the last status we heard of Riverguard? The Zentrum had pulled out? Was that?
Abandoned and perhaps recaptured? Did you
Question for me? Okay. You had heard from Margot Barl that the Zentrum were considering pulling out because of the constant clashes. They were deeming it not a profitable endeavor.
Is that his name in the book?
It's slightly different, but I changed it to Margot Barl
Okay.
because I like it.
Marble.
Because I'm the only one who can say
You
it.
say an M, then just move your tongue around in your mouth, and then end with an L. Marvel. Right.
There's also, of course, the Sacred Stone Monastery. Not sure Henrik and I want to go back there, maybe ever.
Let's
We
cross that off our list.
are on the bad side of a lich.
Okay, let's not go there.
Yes, we're in agreement on that at least.
Is it... Do we need to go there to finish?
Oh, there's nothing to
Oh,
finish there.
no.
We are incapable.
Yes. We could go around. They're all connected underneath, An old dwarven city, the name always escapes me. Marzabarl or something.
What was it called? It's not to the name, right?
No,
But if it did, it would.
it's
All my notes are gone.
It's-
New character sheet.
T.R. Bessil.
Oh, right.
And it's essentially been quartered. And each of the cults own a slice of it.
You guys chose not to continue exploring after that hit with the genie, but
Correct.
That was just about
it would be potentially reasonable to think that it would connect to,
Yep.
2 more.
There is the option of going back to Riverguard. Or not.
Fethergale.
Feathergale and entering through there and just seeing which
Go back the way we came.
passage is next.
Potentially face others who have moved in, but... Those are all of our options. Do you have a preference? There's essentially
Fire one, right?
fire left, water, and earth.
Well, I believe you know which one I am most interested in. But I think we should go to the next closest.
They could potentially all be roughly the same distance if we go back through Feathergale. That's just a
Well, can we just
day's
make a
run.
decision?
Of course. Well, not knowing what's next, we could just go back in through Feathergale and see
Yeah,
what's
okay,
next.
let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay. Alright. It would do us no good to return exhausted. One more night. That's what we initially agreed to. First thing in the morning, can you handle that? I
Fine.
know you're eager, but the Stalwart and I have been fighting for so long.
Fine.
I heard that. You might not think it, but I did. Well, I guessed what you said. Didn't actually hear it.
He's only one man, you know.
What do you think?
suppose if we'll be more fit to fight, if the battle's anything like the one at Feathergale. we'll be every
Yes,
bit-
that's what I'm afraid of, and I don't think my allies can join us again anytime soon.
Is it worth communicating with Nithbis again?
I do have my scroll.
I don't know what we'd ask, but
If she was sending help, she would have already. I think we're a bit on our own here, and frankly, she may have seen that we were more than competent.
more than competent, hopefully.
At least
Not less than
competent
capable.
enough. Yes. Yes. We would hate to err on the other side of that, wouldn't we? But she knows. I suspect even if we fall here, it'll get dealt with.
Prefer that's not the end we need.
No, me either. Economy of force and all that, you know. Why send more if the three of us will suffice?
Alright. Do we have any other leads we could pursue in this day we're spending here?
No, no one in this town knows anything.
No, suspect they don't.
Arbal tends to know plenty, but
I don't want to speak with him.
I'll speak with him. Suppose it's worth a shot. Seems to have his ear to the ground.
Perhaps you could speak with him, and Adara, we could find something to do. We could train. You seem a competent sword fighter.
Yes, let's do that.
Right. Try to take some of your aggression out this day.
Well, she died yesterday, you may die today.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Stalwart. If you wouldn't mind, I'll spend a few moments here at the shrine. It's been some time. Then we can rejoin.
Of course.
The pressure goes a long way, doesn't it?
You're an effective Stalwart, I'll give you that much.
Dara, you'll come around too. Nas did.
Pretend I don't hear him.
And with that, I think Broderick would go and pray at the shrine and thank his allies, souls, for assisting him, saving his life. I think it would be primarily targeted towards thanks for them. Were you going to say something? I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No,
Okay.
finish your thing.
That's it. He would just go and
Their
pray to
faces
them.
are now at the forefront of your mind again, and some of them, it's been 20 years, since you've seen those faces.
Right.
Yeah, they each come to you in your mind, in your prayers.
He would recall each of their names, where they fell.
Mm-hmm. It's you tell me. It's maybe a mix of emotions for
Yeah,
Broderick.
I think it's mixed.
How far away is the entrance to the to where we just were, where the air call was?
Oh, with y'all's crazy ass mounts, a couple hours.
How long on foot?
On foot? Oh, it's a day.
No,
Just gonna bounce.
I was gonna try. I won't steal your thing.
You
so-
could requisition a horse if you wanted to, and it would take you half a day.
I do think that's why Broderick was like, hey, let's do something together. Having that's exactly what he was planning for.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see if it was possible.
Yeah.
The fellowship divides.
Oh, man.
If you choose that, let me know. You can certainly you can get a horse and head that way, without a doubt.
Duty and honor mean nothing to me. No, I'll wait for you.
Because we have, to be honest, the reason I'm imagining this is because we're at half our hit dice right now. We have 4 remaining. Because you spent...
Yeah, mechanically, but I understand.
Well, mechanically, and then I think the way that would manifest is they're just dog-tired. I think, right? I imagine the
You're
loss
able to
of...
summon the willpower to fight if you
Right.
have to, but you're also...
Yeah,
You're
just-
looking at, the bruises are still, you're like...
That's definitely true for me, but in my current state, I don't feel it.
Right.
I feel ready to take on 2 more genies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, as you leave the temple, you think about the words the genie said. Just the discarded and the unloved. And
I think I'd be like talking out loud about it. Fucking genie.
and you hang on it that it was so familiar and casual the way he said it, and it was just a term that you know is tossed around all the time. That's rough. As you're heading to go talk to Margaret Bartle, Herlin stops you, the sheriff and constable. And, I mean, you haven't actually seen him since every time you've passed through, you guys have really just stayed for a day and headed back out. And he seems to be looking around, and when he sees you, he makes just a beeline for you.
Being in a good mood. Erlen, how are you?
And be like, stalwart. You know, clasp that. I mean, he's got his, it's basically just a giant club in his leather armor. I've been looking for you. There's a fella looking for the three of you. You and Roderick and that young girl, your Adara, the fire, right?
Yeah.
Looking for you three. Seems a bit official.
A red larch fella?
No, not a red large fellow. I think he's a harper.
Any indication as to what he wants?
Not really. I mean, harpers are no trouble. They're a good organization. They know a lot. Maybe he just wants to pick your brain over what you've seen. I don't know, but he asked for you by name.
Alright. Where can I find him?
Over at the tavern, where you can find any travelers.
Alright. I suppose I'll go meet with him.
See him, he's a half-elf.
Looking for all three of us, though?
Looking for all three of you.
Alright. Maybe I'll check in with him and then get the others.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, Stalwart.
And you? All going well here?
Thanks to you and your friends, all's going quite well, to be honest. It's growing, town seems secure. I've had a few more join the guard. I suppose you'd like to know that most of them are wearing the holy symbol of Tempest. They seem to have got the fire in them.
Never thought I'd be the one to spread such things, but I'm glad it's happened.
I'm more than glad it's happened. Can't be thankful enough. It seems whatever sickness was over Red Larch for so long, he cleared it out.
I suppose Tempest is to thank as well.
Oh, I have no doubt. Give my offerings and say my thanks along with the other gods. Get the idea? He's not much of at least a practicing religious man, but he's certainly trying to be polite.
I'm not here to judge you. I appreciate all that you do.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna head on, but as I said, good to see you, Stalwart. He heads off, and you see him jovially with people like, Carlo, putting on the wagon. People. I mean, he seems to be putting on. He's kind of the de facto town leader, so he seems to be putting on some show, and you almost see him rise up into it. Not in a way unlike yourself. Right? It's not really what he signed up for, but and he heads on.
All right. I think not knowing where they are, I'd be inclined to just head to the tavern and check, just see what he's interested in.
Okay.
With the intention of just kind of checking in and seeing if it's anything worth getting them over.
Gotcha. You come into the tavern. It's not too difficult to spot. I mean, just there aren't many half-elves here at the moment, and there's one, and he's sitting at a back table and watching the door, and when you come in, he seems to make eye contact and puts up a hand.
Suppose you're the one looking for me and my companions?
I am.
Hope you don't mind, I didn't bring them just yet. Let's see.
Well, I suppose that's unfortunate, but
I can go get them at any moment.
I don't mind talking to you. My name's Leosin from the Hoppers.
You remember
I
Leosin?
remember Leosin.
Yeah.
Well, through the information we've gathered in the Hoppers, we had, I suppose, a task we would ask of you, as it seems a bit in line with your current goals.
That's good news. Our current goals are quite pressing.
They are, but I suppose this would be. Well, there's a potential threat that we're unsure of. We can't gather any more information on. We may or may not be joining with the cult. Maybe not. The problem is we don't know. I suppose it wouldn't be a stretch for you to imagine that all the factions and organizations are spread a little thin. And the Hoppers have never been the ones with the most martial prowess, I suppose. We're law keepers, information seekers, seek to preserve. We're willing to do what we have to and put any knowledge that we can to help, but this task is beyond anybody we have available.
I suppose if it'll be taking our time, I'd best gather my companions so we can best make a decision.
I understand. This is merely a request.
Alright, I'll bring them back. I shouldn't be long.
Very good. Thank you.
I'll step out and go see where they were.
You see him kind of look into his drink for a moment. I mean, it just seems like he is immediately back in thought.
Can I take a 2-second break? I've got to go fix my eye. I have something in my
Yeah,
eye.
of course. Yeah. You're good.
Do you need me to pull that eye out for you?
Yes, maybe.
Give it a good rinse.
Hey, Miss Misery, thank you for subscribing.
Whoa!
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Well then, Adara is, you can't find her quite yet as you're looking, but clearly
Maybe she's off debating whether or not to get the
at
horse.
the stable.
Staring at it. I think I would be coming out of the temple, right? Like, looking around for her. I'd do the old, like, confused Travolta. Where is she? I don't...
I guess I find.
Yep, yeah, you find him at about the time that you're exiting the temple.
We're back already. Did you forget something in your prayers?
Many a thing, I'm sure. I didn't make it to Margleborough before I was interrupted and sent to meet a man who, what's his name?
Leosin.
Oh, Leosin.
Leosin. I don't know.
Meet a man, a half-elf. What's the organization he's in?
The Harpers.
Harpers.
The Harpers.
Member of the Harpers has some work he claims is not too much of a diversion from our current goals. Thought before we got too much farther in our conversation, I'd
From the
bring you
Harpers,
in.
you say? No? They seem on the level.
Do you know? They know Leosin? I mean, would that be a name?
Him no. I'll let you roll.
Okay. Hey, also, we haven't quite discussed this yet. Do you want to do Divine Inspirations for subscribes as well? I mean, that's the same, it's an equivalent amount.
Yes. You know what? Yes. Oh, that's one I can't use?
No,
Which one can I
you use what? No, I don't
Alright.
know. I don't know why I was handing that, not the other one.
No. That's
they're
fine.
all yours.
I got
They're all
this.
yours to hand
No,
out.
man.
I don't know why I was
Is
weirdly
that for
hard.
Bard? Is
I was
that what
like,
you're going to use for Bardic Inspiration?
I was thinking about it, but to not confuse them, I'll just use D8s for Bardic.
Are you sure?
Okay, let's stick with this then for the Divines.
Okay.
Sorry to get weird and I'm behind
Okay.
the scenes there.
So, thanks to Kayla / Miss Misery, this is a divine reroll for subscribing. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll put it
That's
over here.
wonderful. Hopefully they won't need it.
This is the Miss Misery die.
Miss Misery die?
Yeah, for subscribing.
Thanks.
So
Okay.
roll
Okay.
whatever you think is the most applicable.
So let me
say
just say this. Let me just say that his background is soldier. You know what? I think that's more about banners. He can like recognize a banner, so probably not that. No. I guess. I'm trying to see what would make the most sense.
I will let you pick, man.
What is he rolling?
To see if he recognizes Leosin or knows who that is.
Maybe insight,
Sure.
just to try to remember the name.
Yeah. You're like,
Like, nah.
Harper's? You're like, well, of course. I mean, you know the Harper's, no problem.
I would probably have an idea who the Harpers were because of.
You're not here yet.
You're at the stable right now, deciding whether to get a horse. Or
They
not.
just haven't found you yet. You can be wherever you want to be.
I know where I want to be.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Huh? I don't follow. Oh,
Uh,
I forgot to ask you to get red vines while you were up there.
I cannot go up and down the stairs again.
I think you loosely know about the factions of the Sword Coast, being that you're not from here. I don't think it translates so much, but you know, your teacher was like, you know, was well traveled enough to be, and you know how to like investigate that. You're like, all right, so there's a thieves guild, there's some kind of lore keepers, there's kind of the straight up army and iterations of that, and then there's like a druidic circle. And given there's the same thing somewhat in, you know, in Charlton, but vastly different. You're like, yeah, a faction's a faction, I get it. No, so you know that. You guys can find Adara at your leisure. You can be wherever you want when they find you.
I'll be back at their room.
Okay.
That's probably the last place we check.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why would we keep track?
Maybe she left and check the room. Why not?
I suppose, maybe.
You guys are in the room?
I think I'm probably just like maniacally like scribbling like maybe how I think like the map would look down there. Like, well, here's where the genie was, and here's the hallway. Like,
I love it.
trying to
Yeah.
like I have no fucking idea like the layout down there, but
Yeah, I think we'd kind of just be like,
Are we interrupting?
no.
We've got a potential lead. Are you familiar with the Harpers?
And we just talked about that.
If not, their organization, their goals are essentially to find and keep knowledge, mostly for the good of the people.
Is he here?
He's at the tavern.
I would like to speak with him.
Well, that was easy. After you, then.
We go.
Okay.
We go.
Right across the street. You guys come in and you see a half elf who's in practical traveling clothes, but they're nice. I mean, they're fine, but they're well worn.
Motion to him and say, sorry to keep you waiting, Leosin.
Like, oh, it's no trouble at all. Hello, I'm Leosin of the Harpers.
Beldrick Reinwald of this, whatever this is.
Go. Yes, I've known both of you by reputation, and you, though, I've only just heard of joining. I'm Leosin.
Adara.
Adara. Interesting. Not many Genasis here on the Sword Coast.
No, there's not.
Yeah. And your accent, are you from Cholt?
Yes.
Interesting. Fascinating. Are there... It almost looks like he can't help himself. He's like, are there more Genasis in Cholt? Is it frequent?
No, not frequent.
I see. I say, I'm sorry.
I'm used to it.
He's like, I'm interested in everything. Nothing's outside of the interest of what I'd like to learn, so it can come off as a bit rude at times, but to the task at hand. Well, as I told Stalwart Henrik, the Harpers have found a potential threat. They're just don't have enough information about. We think it could be involved with the cult that you're hunting. I suppose what really bothers us is that we just don't have enough information to know. And what we do have is ominous, but
Ominous.
the cult seems to be seeking an ally. One that we've had our eye on for some time, but have been unable to learn more about.
And who is that?
Well, it's the Dark Lady. She's an old evil, but not one that necessarily strikes out at others.
Like a god?
No, I don't think so. Nothing to that magnitude, certainly. Spellcaster, perhaps. We don't
With
know.
a name like that, you would almost have to be.
She struck fear into many people. People have told tales, not many have lived, but we intercepted. It seemed to be some cultist.
Where?
Well, certainly in the Simba Hills, not far from here, but a couple days. But some of them spoke, some of them were not quite as zealous as the others. Said that they were seeking any allies they could in the fight.
Which cultists?
Well, confirmed from two different ones, in fact. The fire and the earth.
The fire cult.
Yes.
Is she looking for the best deal or shopping herself to them a bit?
That's the problem. We've heard whispers of the Dark Lady for some time, but nobody's gotten closer, though we know exactly where she is.
How capable were these people who got close and weren't heard of again?
Probably certainly not as capable as you, though. We've heard reports of other adventurers going, and I suppose that's what, as I said, continually bugging us as Harpers. There's just so many questions.
Did Lady Nithbis send you?
No, she did not. Though, she seemed busy of late. I've known Nithbis for some time. I would go to her if I thought, but she seems occupied, and frankly, being that we don't know, maybe it's nothing. There's a lot of smoke, but we haven't found a fire. I didn't realize it was a joke, but I do understand now, yes.
How far? How much out of our way? You know we've got pressing matters too.
I do, but I also know that you have a hippogriff and a horse that can run a foot across the ground.
That does not make a time infinite.
Well,
I understand your point.
Maybe
Not at
keep
all.
her shoes on.
It'd be a couple days. Though, you wouldn't be far from the monastery or the destroyed windmill tower.
I suppose it would be ridding the world of a few cultists either way.
Like I said, I don't know. It could be nothing. Maybe she's not joining. Maybe she wants nothing to do with them. If she is, then I suppose I'll just come down to brass tacks. That's not a threat that can be allowed to walk around, and we would need somebody to deal with it. And I don't know if you'll find it alarming or a compliment, but though there's a ton of adventurers in the Sword Coast at the moment, you three are frankly the most preeminent. That aren't already disposed doing other things. It would be lovely if Nithbis, Kothai, and Ennis could fix every problem, but they have their own.
yes, I'm beginning to see their issues. Bandwidth, as it were. Well, Adara, you wanted to get going.
Yes.
I suppose we could get going now and cut the difference.
I'm packed. Are you packed?
Well, I travel light these days.
Well, you should get some new robes.
Yes. You're not wrong. I'll visit the clothier before we leave. They're just tatters.
They were like brilliantly nice when we left your family.
He did have a spare chain. He had spare clothes in his pack.
Then you will take this task.
Oh, you knew we couldn't say no. You know our type, Leosin.
I mean, he seems to sit back. I'll tell you, I've always been incredibly moved and surprised by the will and the hearts of the heroes of this place.
And the stupidity.
I haven't found it, though I was stupid. I walked right into a trap at some point myself, but luckily the heroes, the ones that you look up to now, saved me long ago.
I've heard that tale.
Have you? It's a bit obscure.
It's like a
Interesting.
chapter of a book that I enjoy.
Well, I certainly don't know if monetary compensation, but can the Hoppers help you with anything?
I don't suppose materially we're in need of much.
Almost certainly you can help us with something,
Yes.
but I don't know what that is at the moment.
I understand.
Is it only fair that we have a favor from you that we can look to in the future?
If it is within the power of the Hoppers to do so, and
We wouldn't demand much, and I can assure you any favors we ask would not be selfish. They'd be to aid us.
I have no doubt. He pulls out a scroll of sending. So, can any of you use a sending spell?
Yes, I'll take it.
He has a little. I think he has like one of those leather map
Yeah,
cases for scrolls.
Yeah, like a phone book now.
Right. I'm gonna add that in beyond.
We're particularly good about. We can look in the archives and the libraries. We mostly have an expert on everything. Lady Nithbis has perhaps the greatest collection of arcane knowledge, but
And fingers, if tales are to be believed.
quite a bit of those too. Though her library is her own. She should be a Harper, to be completely honest with you. I've tried and tried. But we might have information, potentially that she doesn't, or we can... Owing a favor, I can perhaps talk to some of my superiors into letting go of the books they clutch.
I don't suppose you'd have any kind of map of an ancient dwarven city underground.
Boom. Yes.
Well,
Or knowledge that might make it less a mystery to us.
I can see what I can dig up. I certainly don't have anything on me, of course, but I will look. I will do my utmost. If I can find it, I'll get it to you quickly. You can use that spell, and I'll let you know what I have. And if not, I'll find other ways to owe you a favor.
Appreciate it.
That would be eminently helpful.
I thank you all. I shall take my leave.
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
Have you ever heard the name Thorisden?
Yes. Though I can't quite recall where.
Same here.
Something. Oh, I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's one of the old tomes. Who would know about that? Who would know about that? What is it? Could be. No. I don't know, but I'll look into that as well. Now I'm wondering myself. It's like a song.
Right?
I can't quite remember the next line.
Right?
No, it's there.
I rarely have that problem, but yes.
So I've heard. I inquired about you in this pub this morning, and through a couple clutched stomachs and those holding their heads, they told me about your stories. One day I would certainly like to pick all of your life stories and, commit them to a book if you'd let me. I'm getting away from myself. I am going to go truly Utterly, I'm only in gratitude. And I wish you luck. Be careful. The Dark Lady... I wish I could tell you more.
As do we.
Well, should we be off then, Adara?
Yes.
After lunch, of course.
Okay.
Do us no good to travel without food. You know, my captain used to say an army marches on its stomach, if you can imagine that. And not literally.
A few potions as well, perhaps.
As Leosin's heading off, he's like, actually, there are a few species that do... I'm sorry. He leaves. Well...
Is there a place in town where I could buy some potions?
I will... There's a new market that has set up, and we're going to roll some percentage.
Okay.
What are you trying to buy? Just healing? Or are
Healing.
you trying to get something else?
Healing and possibly, like the resistance one.
Sure. What, any kind of resistance?
The,
Oh, or the actual resistance, like regular damage resistance.
Is it invulnerability? on that
invulnerability.
one?
Yeah, that's the
No,
one.
there's no invulnerability there for sure.
Okay.
That is
Healing
too,
is fine.
Too difficult. All right.
Healing
Let's
is
see how many. No, I'm going to roll a d6 because I think they have healing potions, but I'm going to tell you how. No. I'm going to roll. Yeah, d6. You find 2. You got 2.
Tight.
Guessing that's the entire party finds too, right?
Yes. That
Did
is-
you have any left?
I don't know. I'd have to check my old character sheet.
I have a feeling you did not.
I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
That's fine. I don't see why I would need.
You can carry both, because we both have healing spells. Or
You head to the clothier, who you'll remember was a little snobbish and also from Waterdeep.
right.
And he sees you coming, like through the shop window before, and I mean he's pushing his kids out of the way and smoothing stuff out, and he's standing ready, and he's like, Mr. Broderick, Reinwald, welcome back to the finest clothier this side of Waterdeep.
I mean, I think he would at first be a little put off, but then whatever.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Quite the reception. I don't need much. Something that might hold up a bit more to
Like flame resistant.
flames, claws, blades, acids, other spell effects,
Spills of
blood, mine and otherwise, saliva in general,
Don't forget ale.
ale, of course. Have you something like that?
I will be right back. He comes back out with the best he can. I mean, he tries. He's also watching your hair very carefully as you get close to the silks. And he's like, well, this is a nice mix of breathable fabric and leather design. I couldn't speak to I don't know if anything can stop blood, to be honest with you, Master. Or acid. I don't have any magic clothes, I'm sorry. I wish I did. I really do.
That's an idea. Very well, I'll take it. Let me take 2. Change.
Of course, as many as you like.
Will do.
Were there any things that I could get the both of you? Clothes-wise.
I think I'll be quite alright.
Yes, I can imagine.
Mine are already flame resistant.
That makes sense. I don't know if I have anything that way. Wrap these up.
Very good.
You want me to track gold? I mean, I have tons. That's at
For
this
clothes,
point, it's
no.
not worth.
Fine clothes are worth like 5 gold.
Yeah, it's a drop.
Like the nicest clothes you can get are worth like 5 gold.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 sets then.
Done. You got it.
Nice.
And they burn immediately.
Shit,
guys-
you know what? Never mind. Singing Project was gonna go buy a house in Red Larch. I mean, we always stay at the inn. I mean, 3,500 gold, I imagine.
Dude, yeah.
Can more than buy.
Absolutely.
Who are you gonna get to like keep it?
Well, we'll hire somebody. I know specifically skilled labor is like a gold piece a day. So you can straight up just hire a butler.
Do you want to buy a place?
Not right now.
Okay.
But I think that's on Broderick's mind now.
You see that they're also, whether or not it looks like they need it, maybe you're insightful enough to know that maybe Herland's just kind of keeping people busy. The mine has started again with a new owner, the same with like kind of the warehouse. The businesses are filling up. They're building new shops, whether or not, it doesn't necessarily say, coming soon. It seems like they're just building and building anyway, so.
Before they leave, I think he would write a letter to his daughter explaining Red Larch and saying there's a potential for investment.
Done. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I think he would say, like, hey, this place seems to be growing quickly. It might be worth the attention of the Merchants Guild.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
would write that and have it sent.
It will be sent, yeah. Sweet.
I think he's probably wrapping it up as Adara's like, come on. It's like, oh, hold on.
What was that?
Yes.
You guys set off. Shimmermane is ready. The stable boy is in not nice clothes, but sturdier clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like with the small fortune that you've
Right.
given him, and it looks like you've seen that the stall that it seems to be reserved for Shimmermane, he, as young as he is, has made adjustments himself. Looks like he has his other duties, but you've
Nice.
constantly seen him like expanding it and the nails, you see that the work was carefully done, but not skillfully.
Yeah. I dig it.
Uh,
I think he would say as much. Like,
Oh, I love what you've done with the place. Shimmermane seems as happy as ever. Thank you, young lad. Thank you.
Of course, Master Broderick. Her wings, it didn't really work with other horses don't have wings. It's like, so I opened this up and I thought, she likes to turn around when she sleeps at night. She makes a circle.
I think he would be listening intently and, giving him full presence.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 14, so, he's like, of course. He's like, here's Shimmermane. And Shimmermane is rested, stoked, definitely is just affectionate to the
Right.
stable boy. She
I
does
think
the
while this
cat
is going
roll.
on, I just like really impatiently like walk around him and start like
Yeah. I love the idea that anytime Broderick's doing anything, you're just like, oh my god, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
it's like when my dad tells a story.
I was about to say, and your mom is just like,
Come on,
please,
come on.
finish the story.
And the stable boy's looking back because he's not dumb. He sees you do something. He's like, and I guess that's it.
Yeah. He would look back and like,
Well, you've done an excellent job. You should be inheriting this place when you're older. Who is the owner of this stable?
He's like, oh, well, that would be forget.
Oh, got him!
You got me.
Got him!
I got nothing.
It's Beagle.
right now. Is
yes.
Joseph.
It's you know what? I'm so I have other work. I'll remember his name next time you come to Red Larch. I don't know. I never see him.
Well, very well then. I'll make sure that word reaches him that you're doing such a bang-up job. And before I go, here's a bit more.
I'll hand him 10 gold pieces.
He tries to. No, Master Broderick, you've given me so much.
Listen, with this, put it in the bank. Save it. You've run an excellent job upgrading this store, but that should be the owner's responsibility, Put this somewhere, set it aside.
I'll hide it. I've got a thing under my bed that I hide stuff in.
That would work, yes. Also the bank might work.
Is there a bank in Red Larch? Oh, okay, then he wouldn't say anything about that then.
We might, and then realize.
Yeah, the bank.
Go to your financial planner. Whoever your family is.
In the merchants district,
Etrade.com.
Ask them if they are a fiduciary. That is very critical. All right. Your horse is ready. Have you named your horse?
Oh, nice. The old counter deal.
Yeah.
The old get you back.
It's Leo's. No. No, I have not.
Okay.
Horsing
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to name it.
Horsing courses.
That's not allowed.
Quick break before we head out?
Yeah, so you guys head out of Red Larch, and guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be at Rundrith Manor.
Ooh, we're gonna Google that real quick, find out what's gonna happen.
You sure can, man. Welcome back, everybody. The Castle Mac presents Princes of the Apocalypse. Where we last left off, the party took a task, a small quest from a contact with the Harpers, Leosin, who's asked them to check out the mysterious Dark Lady of Rundrith Manor. He gave you loose directions on kind of how to get there, pointed out on your map. It's off the long road a bit. Mostly, this could be a potential threat. Maybe it's nothing. Nobody knows.
I mean, with a name like the Dark Lady, it ain't nothing, right?
It's probably fine. She's probably very nice.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
misunderstood.
Miss Misery is nice, and that's kind of a grim, dark name, right?
That's true.
Checkmate. Let's move on.
As you guys are headed through the long road, it takes you a couple days. It takes you like 2 days, in fact, actually, even moving at your top speed and you camp. It is up. It's northwest, so it's a little past the Somber Hills. Somewhere...
Question.
Yeah.
After camping, then, all of our hit dice are back.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm sorry. And it's northeast, so it's a little bit between...
How many long rests was that? So I can reset it and beyond?
Yeah, you're completely reset.
Yeah. You'd be...
It only takes 2.
Yeah, just delete your character and make it again. So you're good.
Maybe if we meet another genie, that will happen.
So this is a bit closer to... It's kind of in between when you met those good knights and their stronghold and Yartar. So you're closest to the Fire Keep, but you know that the... Actually, River Guard would be closer than the stone, so I misspoke. But closest to the where you left the fire. But as you come off the long road, you can see a caravan trail that leads up to a kind of wooded hill. And you can see, and as you approach, the skies here just seem that kind of cloudy, overcast, where you can't quite tell if it's about to storm or not. And up, it looks just like a kind of a caravan trail that leads up, and you can see on top of the hill, silhouetted across the kind of gray sky, what's the ruins of a manor. It's certainly not still standing, but
The ruins of a manor.
like a manor house.
Couldn't hear you over Cheetos in my head.
It's an age-old problem.
Welcome to my marriage.
That's what you see.
This is it. So it's up on a hill with a caravan track leading up, and any other distinguishing features?
I mean,
Is this really dilapidated? Mostly collapsed?
it looks like it's mostly collapsed. It doesn't look like, you know, it would look like the equivalent, well, from where you can tell, it looks like pieces of, there was a couple floors to it from where you are. I mean, just gauging distance, probably had multiple floors, and some of them still look like they're standing, but almost the center of it is pulled
The
out.
house has given up the ghost.
The chimneys are still standing, and there's multiple chimneys that kind of come up, and you see a couple of what were stone arches. You can kind of still make out their outline because you can see the light coming through from the clouds behind on the top of the hill. So you can see where there's clearly, you're looking right past. But from where you are, you can't exactly tell. This is your first sighting of it.
Well, nothing to do but approach, I would think.
Cast mage armor.
Wait, how far away from it are we? Oh, there we said, sorry.
From here, you're probably 300-400 yards. So there's nothing else around here, so you assume that this must be the manor.
I would I'd be looking out for danger, but
Okay.
not casting any spirit guardians yet.
I would fly up with Shiramain and circle the manor.
Got it. Okay.
Give it a pretty wide circle.
As you do, and you go, you can see where, you know, there's like almost small trees that are kind of growing all around, and in the center it looks, you can see like cracked stones. It looks like the floors have caved in, what we would see would look like it was almost bombed out. You know, like the wood and the stone that it was built on are sagged on some areas, and there's just rubble kind of strewn around. You can get a pretty clear insight into kind of the floors from where you're at. I mean, because the roof has continued to like sag and cave in. Staircases that lead to nowhere because the floor is gone. So from what you can see, there's no movement. It's almost pretty open. But go ahead and as you're looking dead on. You don't need to. You're trying to look down and you think you see figures, but they're not moving. And you can see that around.
Pull down the old goggles to get that distance.
As you look down, you can see that what were large like wrought iron fences that are around it are mostly still standing. There are bodies, some of them hanging on it, some of them just strewn around. Doesn't take much because you've seen it. Looks like different robes of cultists. Some aren't wearing robes.
Like hanging on the fence, like Virgin Suicide style?
Good reference.
At this point, you wouldn't be able to tell if, from where you're at, you can't really tell if they were hung on there or if, I don't know, they were potentially just landed there.
Like jumped from a window?
You would think some of the posture would look like they jumped off a window, but the gate's not close enough to the manor for that to be the case.
Okay.
Well, after that, I would come back and land. Take my goggles off.
Well, we've certainly come to the right place. Cultists impaled in their bodies, hanging. I don't know if it's a warning to them not to return, but doesn't look like she's looking to ally with them necessarily. Different robes, too. Didn't seem exclusive to one cult or the other. Couldn't tell.
Do you think she's home?
Judging by the state of the place, I would say she's beneath her home. There seems to be a sinkhole in the center or something.
Perhaps we share a common enemy.
Well, we're here. After you, Starboard.
He'll climb off Shinramain and just, tell her to chill.
You do realize you have probably a good distance that you could get closer and leave them. I mean, than where you are now. And in fact, kind of the foot of the hill, I mean, it's as you get closer, there weren't a ton of large trees, but there's just like a ton of underbrush here, and you could.
Yeah, we would leave them wherever it makes sense to do so.
Up to you.
Oh.
You could leave them essentially within like 100 yards of
Yeah,
of where
yeah.
the manor
That's what we
entrance
do.
would be. You guys head up.
I hope we're not approaching another Renwick.
So we'll be more careful this time. No deals.
This must be the lich you're talking about.
It is.
We try not to talk about it anymore.
Well, you,
Sort of like a sickness. If you don't talk about it, don't think about it.
I've
hope
heard you
it
talk
goes
about
away.
it at least 5 times since I've known you.
We try not to talk about it, we don't succeed.
That's right.
I guess we'd walk up and everything's gonna be fine.
Okay. The kind of the road up as you're looking, it's still dirt and kind of overgrown, but as you kind of look, you can see where at one point it's almost over. It was over cobblestone. Like this was at one point clearly a nice, not paved, but stoned entrance that probably carriages could have come up quite nicely, horses. And the closer you get to the top, well, actually, you guys are all scanning for danger. You can see that within the woods, though, there are just kind of remnants of bones. Some of them animal, some of them clearly human.
Like just on the ground, like just rotting bodies, or
You can, as you kind of look through, it looks like they're not rotting necessarily, just because it's mostly bones. The closer you get, you start to see some equipment, though. There's a sword here, kind of out of place. There's handful of arrows that are broken. As you continue to
I mean, Broderick would say something about that.
Well, we're clearly not the first people to come knocking. A host doesn't seem all that welcoming. We should be on our guard.
Already was. I have my shield in my hand and my knees out.
Of course. Okay.
Cap of Tenaria. Did I ever tell you about the time? We were walking too close. Got hit by a fireball from an opposing sorcerer. Took out nearly half the squad.
And as he says that, he would just spread out.
We've had our share
30 feet between us.
We've had our share of shared lightning strikes.
Onward and upward, my dude.
The closer you get, now you start to see more bodies littering it. You can see more clearly, and you recognize them even sooner. Fire cultists. These bodies are in fact rotting, but just still have the robes on.
I kick him.
You do.
I use my produce flame cantrip and I light a few on fire.
Okay.
I think they're already dead,
I
Adara.
don't care.
And then you also see, you two especially, immediately you see some of that stone black armor and those black capes and cloaks of the Earth Cult. And you see this, what was stone and now a large wrought iron fence as you're coming up to the manor. You see bodies, a handful just littering the tops of the spikes. Now that you look, it's even harder to tell. Some of them are at such strange angles it would look like you just toss them down. Others, the way they land, look like they might have been put there.
Any cultists absent in the...
You also see other figures. I mean, that don't have any, cult paraphernalia or symbols.
Adventurer types.
You would think so. There's a couple, you see a couple clearly dwarves in some rusting armor. Plenty of humans. You see the occasional elf.
Are there any cults missing specifically?
You don't see the water or the air, in fact. You don't see either any of those there. It looks like just the earth and the fire cult.
I suppose we know who she's not aligned with, but I do wonder.
Maybe they just haven't angered her yet.
I worry we're approaching a major problem.
As we continue walking up, is it reasonable to assume that in 12 seconds I could tell another story and hook them both up with a starter bardic inspiration?
From where you are right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like once we're very near to it. I'm not gonna... They last 10 minutes. So
Yeah. No, I think so. You guys are watching for danger, and you catch that, there's a lot of carry-on, It's your kind of classic scene with dark clouds over it and a now ruined manor. And you got just the occasional, crows. And as, vultures will fly off from around you, things scurry back into the woods. What you come upon is what you can tell based on the stonework and the fixtures outside. This was an amazing manor at one point. I mean, it was carefully crafted. Huge windows that almost look like cathedral style on some bits. It looks like it was made with just reverence. And it is. There's two wings. It almost forms a T shape as you're kind of coming up, where you can see the central hall and then two wings that went off. And now you guys can see it too. It does. It just looks like there's walls that are barely standing that you can kind of see through. There's a ton of just stone rubble, large stones, what look like they were, almost columns somewhat too, in the central hall that have just collapsed. And there's a beautiful flagstone floor that is kind of covering as you kind of push through. The floor looks intact.
As he tells a story, briefly.
I don't feel the way out of this situation is going to be through our combat abilities.
You never know.
The way these bodies are dumped out is quite powerful.
Well, there's nothing to it but to go forward. Unless you've a grand strategy, Adara.
Okay.
Continue on.
Let us not use the same strategy we did with that genie. I feel this will be a far more dangerous enemy.
I don't think anything will be as final as that genie.
Then we're all in agreement.
And I mean, who are they to tell you? Okay. You guys searching around then? This is, I mean, you guys are ready for danger. It's still pretty clear sightlines though. I mean, there's a ton of rubble around here, but I mean, if you imagine if you just had the outside of a house standing like a box, I mean, that's kind of what you're in right at the moment.
Yeah, I think we'd make our way inside. I mean, Broderick saw the big hole in the middle. Want to go check that out?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a hole.
No, it's just collapsed like a
It's
donut.
more, yeah. It's
Sagging?
more like the rest of it, the outside, like, edifices are intact, but the central, like, everything there has just crumbled in on
Gotcha.
itself.
Then yeah, I think we'd just start circling around it, looking for anything odd.
You guys, everybody roll me investigation. And you know what, Broderick, you can roll investigation or you can roll insight.
Alright.
15.
15.
16.
Okay.
13.
Got it. You're looking around. Some of this almost looks familiar to you. I recognize that style. There's houses in Waterdeep like that. You're far more... The two of you have not been in estates like this. You're looking, you're like, this floor, there's nothing. Second floor is gone. The third floor is gone. You're looking around, you're like, there's nothing up there. And then you can kind of, both of you about the same time, but you're a little bit faster as you look around, almost knowingly somehow. Like, that's where stairs would be to go underneath.
Is there like a door there?
There is, as you're kind of looking over, you can see that there's some kind of rubble around it, but the door's half smashed in. So what you see up there is kind of rubble. You see wood right before, and like just cracked stones. It almost looks like you'd kind of have to crawl over, and then you'd have a little way to go, and you could get down the stairs after that.
I think that there are probably stairs here at one time. If you help me move this, there might still be.
Oh, very astute, yes. Let's see what we can find.
Okay. You guys come up, and now you can see as you kind of turn the corner, and it's almost like you just have to adjust your gaze from how much looks the same. It almost looks camouflaged from how much rubble and dust is in here.
Right.
And plus, this place is like a forest now. There's just nature is taking back over on the sides. There are trees growing in kind of the center of what was the feast hall, and vines. But you see it. You see that it. You can kind of crawl over some rubble, and there's a bit of a flat surface, and then you would crawl over again, and then you'd be able to kind of descend down some stairs that you can see on the other end.
I go down them.
Okay. What's everybody's passive investigation?
13.
10.
Passive investigation. Oh, 10.
Okay.
13.
As you guys crawl over the other rubble, you can see there's kind of a wooden board, but there's a bunch of kind of gravel on top of it. You're like, oh, we'll just walk across this and crawl right over. And as soon as the three of you get on it, you hear, and another stone falls over, and the wood crashes through. I need y'all to make some dexterity saving throws as you try to hold on to the sides.
18.
13?
12.
Yikes.
I don't know. I thought 13 was okay.
Anybody have things?
Well,
I'm good with my 18.
Who wants to stay and who
You do have
wants...
bardic inspirations.
I will use my bardic inspiration
Me
since
too.
you so clearly hinted that I need to.
I'm being forgiving.
I
It's an extra
love
D8,
you
right?
and your
D8.
handsome. 15.
So that was still a 10. So 13 and then 7 more.
20.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Roderick, you're kind of closest, and as it goes, you're also the lightest. So you're able to kind of turn, and you grab onto the edge quickly. Adara, for a moment, you're right in the center, but you jump. You don't catch the edge, but you manage to get the spear wind vein and dig it into just right between two pieces of rubble and hold on. Henrik, you are scrambling. And you're about to fall, but it's like you're climbing up the wood as it's crumbling. And you're just... There's no grace to it. There's nothing. It's just pure force and will that you're able to push your... You have a maul, right? Mace. You're able to push your mace up and hold on as your feet are dangling and you almost fall through just from your weight swinging underneath and slipping through. But all of you are dangling as rocks and wood crumble what you can see 40 feet down into an undercroft.
I can see... I have dark vision. Can I see anything down there?
Yeah. So what you see as it kind of crashes, you have to adjust from the light to the dark vision. You see a little number of like feast tables that still look like from where it's like, do they still have plates or food on them? That's what it looks like. I mean,
Okay.
and there's two that kind of stretch out. You also, as you're all hanging there and just hearing the echo of how it crashed, it's a large chamber under there.
Oh, we should watch our step more carefully. Are you all right, Stalwart?
I'll be fine.
All right. Brother, try to pull himself out.
You guys don't need to make any rolls for pulling yourselves out. You managed to catch on, and you all managed to kind of crawl up back into the rooms that were next to you onto rubble as you all kind of sit around this now kind of gaping hole in the floor. But you can still now kind of get around and get to the stairway if you wish to.
There were tables set down there. There might even still be food on them.
We could head to the stairs and potentially risk more of these, or we could lower ourselves in, just like we did at Feathergale.
I think Broderick would pull out his hempen rope.
Feast, you say?
That's what I said.
That makes no sense.
Well, that's what I saw.
Can we look over into the pit?
Yeah, for sure.
Come here, Stalwart. Come here, Adar. Let's get your eyes.
Cast dancing lights. Send them down, then go 60 feet. I'll send 4 of them and kind of move them all around, trying to cast light on the situation.
As you guys do your best to push as far as you feel like you safely can over the edge to look down to get the best look, as they shoot down and they go over, now you can see a little bit better. It does look like it's just large, extensive feast tables. And then you also see like broken, almost like love seats, things like that. It just looks like things
Like a
for like
ballroom or
furniture.
something?
Yeah, just it was a ballroom, and you can see there's still, there's glittering of platters and things like that. Now that the smell comes up, you get certainly not a fresh feast that is there. Looks like it was old.
Gross.
You can also kind of tell by the way the lights are going that though you can't quite see, you recognize architecture enough. It was probably quite beautiful at one point. Large columns that lead into high vaulted arch ceilings that just they kind of crisscross each other.
What do you say? Should we go in here? The entranceway could be further trapped.
I see no reason not to.
Was this a trap or was it just a faulty floor?
Don't know. Could have just been our bad luck. Sure seems appropriately placed.
Well, the whole building is caving in, but I suppose we should be on our best guard.
It is a little difficult to tell. Part of it seems completely natural, and yeah, at the same time, it's quite convenient that it was right there.
We can lower ourselves. I see no reason not to.
I'll take his rope and tie one end off. I imagine there's plenty of large stone pieces you can tie it
yeah,
around.
I think you can, for sure. You just tie it off, and they're gonna go down.
I can
Yeah,
go
drop
first.
the rest down.
Make sure it's safe. Yeah, I think I'll go first.
All right.
As the
Okay. I need you to make an athletics check while you're climbing down.
pass.
Before you go, Stalwart, there's no one better who could go in first. We're watching you from up here. You needn't fear.
From up here, you didn't fear.
That's what I said.
Actually, you have a rope. You can make it an advantage.
It is an advantage.
Yeah.
18. Thank you for that advantage.
Yeah.
because I roll it.
You're good.
Just the wind.
What was that? A whistling wind. A whistling wind.
Why am I saying
Spicy.
what way?
Spicy Cheetos got me.
They get in your sinuses?
Yeah.
Worth it, worth it,
I
though.
snorted one back there.
Nice.
Okay. Who goes down next?
Me.
All right. You also can make that.
Adara, I know you've been itching for a fight. There's no one I'd rather have at my side in combat right now. Excuse me.
You said athletics. At advantage. Advantage.
Advantage. Ooh, go on.
Pretty good.
Just kidding.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and burn up the bardic inspos.
Just remember your old friend Broderick next time you...
6, so that's an 8. 9, 10.
10 is your total.
10 is my total. Is that okay?
That's your total, though?
Okay.
Yeah, Dad.
You cheated.
You make it
5 if I
halfway down, and the way you're trying to kind of hold the spear and everything. I mean, it's not a weapon you're used to. I mean, having
My hair catches the rip on
your
fire.
thumb. You try to grab. You lose it. You fall 20 feet.
2d6 fashion?
It's Is it 2d6
Yeah.
or is it
It's 1d6
for each 10
per
feet? Yeah. Yeah, and you fall prone. You take 7 damage.
can handle it.
And you see her and just clatter next to you. It's a hard thud and it doesn't sound pleasant.
Said 6.
7.
Nice try.
Add 1 damage.
Are you alright, Adara?
I'm fine.
Alright.
I think he would lock eyes with Henrik for just a second.
Well, you're,
I mean-
you're still up there, though, right?
Yeah, but 40 feet and there's light.
Yeah.
40 feet is, you know,
I'd help her up.
it's like 4 times 10 feet. So.
Metric
Yeah,
feet?
check it.
Metric feet or...
Metchperial? Okay.
Like your left or my left?
Yeah, Broderick would be like,
Right, here we go.
Go ahead and make
let's
the
give it the shot. If there's one thing Broderick is, it's athletic.
Oh man, afraid it's
Hold on. Am I going to spend an inspo for that? No, whatever. We'll fall.
fall. Okay.
I rolled a
You were
6.
gonna break a hip.
I rolled a 6.
You were gonna
Roll a
break a hip.
6.
Does Red Larch have a hip replacer?
If, with the 6 you rolled, you fell 30 feet.
Yep.
You take the exact same amount of damage though.
You didn't fall as hard because you
Male
weren't
privilege.
holding that big of a spear.
And,
He'd be like, anyways, Adara, what you need to...
and I mean, you, Henrik, you watch. You help up the other one. You guys clatter to the ground and get back up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it laid for saying, like,
Oh. Well, I was hoping we could make a bit of a stealthy entrance.
Is Dancing lights concentration.
Oh. You know, I don't know. It should say right here. Oh, does it say on the new spell sheet?
I don't know, like lights.
No,
not
it doesn't.
concentration.
Lights not, but I think that's the thing with dancing lights, to be able to
Interesting.
send lights around.
That sucks. They need to definitely
Yeah,
add.
I just added a C in parentheses for my.
But let me just look. I'll just.
They need to definitely
doesn't
add that.
I don't love the new spell sheet, I must say.
Yeah, I like everything maybe but the spells, actually. Actually, I love the quick info of the spells. It's just missing a little bit. And I don't love it for cleric, you're right. For me, it's every spell I have. I mean, they only last a minute anyway, so you have to
It
kind of
is
keep recasting.
Concentration. So as you hit the ground, just go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Yeah. No problem.
They would probably fall to the ground for a second.
The lights still manage to come back up as you are standing in this large undercroft. And now you can see it better. It is. The ceilings, you can see, are beautifully bricked and tiled. I mean, it looks like the Bridge of Khazad-dûm.
Is it a little bit like this?
You mean
Like
this actual
beautifully-
real
Careful.
real stone?
Yeah.
This,
very
watch how
rough.
strong I am. Watch how strong I am. I'm not even bleeding.
It's a little bit like the entrance to Hogwarts. You just like...
Welcome to Castle Mag 9 3/4.
I just scared the absolute shit out of the dog.
She's so
Look how on point she is. She's like, oh, you okay? Did you hit that brick wall? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm so silly there.
No, you're good. So that.
Man, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Look at her little face.
This room is 70 feet by 100 feet.
Whoa, that's a biggie.
70 by 100.
Yep. I'll just.
Sorry.
70
by 100. Yeah, okay. Good luck.
Boy, I tell you, that's
I
a
didn't
lot
feel
more
bad
feet
about
than
it
I'm used
until
to seeing.
Andrew looked at me.
Well, I'm glad I can make you feel bad about it.
Let's count out.
I mean, there's plenty of room here.
Thanks, man.
I can move.
I'm good, doggy.
He's not. He went through a brick wall.
We really need a puppy cam.
We do need a puppy cam. She's always just sleeping right over there.
She really does. Just
Until
sleep.
someone goes through a brick
Someone
wall.
goes through the brick wall.
Now, are you drawing it? You're drawing it just to give us an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah.
No, because there's any kind of fighting to be had.
You know, that's up to two things. Y'all and whoever the Dark Lady is.
I mean, nobody in our party is quick to fight. Just because.
No, I really like negotiations.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
single time we've ever been like, we should try to talk to them first, it becomes a fight in about 8 seconds.
Except for the Lich, and that's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we just have avoided him.
Yeah, I know you've been ducking me too.
Yeah, you've been stealing my rings, my silver brushes.
Not bringing my brother's body back.
All right, hey, it's time for action cam.
Don't you pop me, bro. Poppy is so good you never forget.
Action cam brought to you by Thanrand and Red Vines.
Mayor Thanrand.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a Flamin' Hot Cheetos sponsorship?
Oh my God, yes.
And then have them make a Flamin' Hotter Cheetos specifically for us?
Hey, I did.
Castle Mac and Cheetos, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. Sorry,
Oh
really
my
knows
god,
by
I
itself.
just got it.
Someone made a Levenger. Do you guys know what Levenger is? They're like notebooks that are
Yeah.
these really nice ring-bound notebooks.
I do know what they are.
Someone made a character sheet cut for a Levenger notebook, and I liked it, and Levenger liked the whole thread. And I was like, man, someone in marketing who made these like CEO notebooks was like,
These
some
fucking
D&D nerds, but I gotta do this.
Throw them boys a bone, cause they ain't gonna get one. That's how they talk.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
Walter Levenger's like, I'll tell you what, you gotta get in there, you gotta find them boys, and boys click on the, click on the,
I'll make binders just like my pappy before me.
Binders, notebooks, and paper accessories.
Yeah, my grandfather invented the clippy
What
clip.
has this devolved into?
3 ring, 4 ring, 1 ring, 0 ring.
You know, my
Making-
grandpappy was the first one to introduce a 3rd ring, and people thought he was crazy for it, too.
This is my grandpa trapper keeper.
Oh,
You know why? It's because he used to be an old trapper, my pappy.
Jonathan Trapper.
I'm gonna fucking TPK you.
Heir to the trapper throne.
We really deserve it.
What's up with that girl? Oh, she's an heiress. To what? Trappers.
To the trapper.
Trapper keeper.
Trapper keepers.
Roger Trapper the 4th.
Like, he was a really bad hunter, so he would just go in the forest and set up binders, trying to catch animals.
Couldn't catch these foxes, so I caught some paper.
I can keep these pins in corral, though.
You know, he couldn't catch much, but he could sure keep track of what everyone else got.
Trapper Keeper, sponsor us. We got your
Can
whole
we
backstory
still-
written.
We clearly just, we sold it real hard there.
Do they still make trapper keepers?
That's an excellent
I'm
question.
gonna go find out.
One that can only be answered by a Trapper Keeper with a sponsorship.
And if so, can we also, brought to you by Castle Mac, in association with Trapper Keeper, in association with Lisa Frank.
Oh man, if somebody would, if Lisa Frank would please do
Association with
character
Jurassic
portraits.
Park. Those old, those are folders, not.
No, now they're called PASIC Open Tab Velcro Closure.
That's not cool at all.
It's not.
Don't sponsor
Can I
us. We
sit
don't
down,
want
John? Are you
money.
still drawing?
No, you can sit down.
All right.
Please.
Sit down before you fall down.
Sit down before you fall down.
I'm not gonna repeat that.
Yeah, I'm good too. I have standards.
Okay. As you guys stand in here, yeah, let me show you where you
Should I put
landed.
on combat music or not?
Well, that's up to you.
I don't think it is.
Let's wait it out.
This is where you all landed. You can see that there is a staircase.
Stop.
Jeez, you're so off balance.
See, I
There-
don't have 10 thumbs.
There is a staircase that leads up.
Where?
It looks like it kind of zigzags up and to right here to
Gotcha.
exactly where you
Gotcha.
figured you were.
Last week when I went back and rewatched the video when Adara was dying, I like slammed my head on the table and then you were banging on the table and this camera was just like like vibrating.
It can't handle it. Here's the initiative tins. If you need them. I suspect you don't, but if you do.
Yeah, we'll talk our way out of this.
Even if I did, I can't hold on to them anyway.
I wish the people back home could see you fumble with those things, because it's like my favorite, my singular joy of D&D. So I'll be like, and next. Oh, shit.
My truest faults.
Can't draw lines, can't hang tights.
I mean, these lines look.
These lines
Those are good
tight.
lines. Those are good lines.
You know, doing the 10 feet is mad helpful so I can actually visualize how.
If I'm being honest with you, boss, they're pretty good lines.
You ever wonder how lines are made? As you guys are standing down here and you have the lights kind of going around and you're all prepared, out of the dark, your lights almost can't penetrate the darkness over there. They get over there, but they just get way dimmer than they should. And you're looking through, again, even your dark vision is like, I can't quite see. And from the darkness walks out, you see, looks like black leathers in a small cape, a grayish purple skin, stark white hair. You would all know that this is a drow.
Really?
And she comes, almost sauntering out of the darkness and stands here. I'll show you exactly what she looks like.
She's so pretty, but so evil.
She going to
Let's see if I can show the folks at home.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
Look
look
at
at
those
those boots,
shoes.
though. I'm not trying to do elevator eyes here. I'm trying to show those boots. She does. She's. What are you doing in my home?
Well, should I talk?
Didn't look like much of a home from the outside.
That's no way to.
Don't insult her.
Well. What a comedian. And a priest at that. Tempest. Fascinating.
Question for you. Are you intending to ally with one of the cults?
As he's asking that question, as she's thinking about it, does he have time to cast light on his shield? Just because the dancing lights are going to fade.
Yeah. Cast light. As she's thinking about it and you cast light and it shines over her, you see her put her head down for a moment, but then look directly into your eyes. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
Do I notice that she was not nuts about the light?
I didn't necessarily say that.
Got an 8.
Oh, you know what? All of you guys can roll insight, in fact.
I'm just seeing her turn her head like that. I'm just considering.
Insight.
22.
Okay.
18.
You saw that she turned her head and then looked into the light. You know that a drow looking into like that level of a light source would have more of an issue. Would maybe hesitate a bit more. But she's looking right over the light of his shield into his eyes.
I think, at least seeing her turn her head, I would just cast light on my shield too, just as sort of a might as well, and let's see what happens.
And she's like, oh no, lit shields.
Just to see by.
She's like,
You didn't answer the question.
no, we all wanted to cast light on our shields, didn't we?
We're not gifted with dark vision, I think they call it.
You would.
We're
know.
but poor,
When-
broken humans.
Yes, of course I am.
Of course you would. As to your question, I'm just fine answering questions if you'd like. But I'll need you perhaps to share information with me. We can have an exchange of information.
I've seen the way your exchanges end. Warning signs out there, or potential suitors.
Bit of both, really. I'll answer your question in good faith that you'll answer mine. Some of the cults, justifiably, want me to join them. I found them to be very rude, and I found them, frankly, their level of zealous is a bit laughable. So, I eviscerated most of them. I left a few alive to go back and tell their cults that I would not be joining them. But you never know, a lady can change her mind. Some would say we're a bit mercurial.
Well, thank you for doing some of our work for us, I'll at least say that much. You've made quick work of them, as have we.
So you are fighting the cults, are you?
We're trying to, yes. Surely you're not excited about their goals, which I'm sure they shared with you.
Their goals do not particularly concern me. Do you know what their goals are?
To bring about destruction, to bring about the primordial elements to the material plane. That would mean an end of your way of life.
You would think I have no tricks up my sleeve. What a limited point of view.
I think at the very least it would be an annoyance.
It would be. But there are perhaps opportunities presenting themselves. Do you know how they're going to do it?
I'm afraid I don't.
Ooh, that would be helpful information, wouldn't it?
If you're going to share it, then share it, and if you're
Well,
not,
no,
then don't.
no. Because we are going to have an exchange. And I've answered a number of your questions. And you've answered just about none of mine.
Obliquely, you've answered our questions, but okay, fair enough. Ask away.
Now, 2 cults came to see me. They didn't seem to be cooperating. Can you tell me more about the potential divisions between them?
They're not cooperating or aligned. More is there to be said.
Well, my obtuse stalwart. Which doesn't like which?
From what we can gather, none of them like any of them. There are 4, you know, the primordial elements.
Of course.
Interesting that you would claim to know how they intend to bring about their goals, but not that they are not aligned.
No.
Maisie.
I know they're not aligned. I just want to know which doesn't like the other. This is fairly simple. I, of course, know how they can bring back the apocalypse.
Then I'm afraid I don't know the answer to your question. From what we've seen, the Earth cult and the Air cult certainly openly opposed to each other.
Fascinating.
We found no cultists together of different cults in any of our travels that I could recall. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. But specifically opposing each other, I can't say we've seen.
I guess that makes sense. Earth against air. I suppose that would stand to reason that fire and water would hate each other. Would you, dear, find that to be the case? Do you meet other water half-breeds that you hate?
No.
No. Well, perhaps my theory's gone then.
I am not an elemental, though, and I am not part of a cult.
You're not an elemental. You are half.
Yes.
I guess you're right, not full. Excuse me. So, you've beaten all the haunted keeps. They are destroyed.
Destroyed.
We've dealt them a powerful blow.
We've entered and exited all of them.
Are the cultists still in those keeps?
I suppose not, no.
Very good. That was the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
Happy to help.
What don't you know?
Well, what you've already alluded to. How is it they intend to bring about this apocalypse? We know that they have taken up residence in the Dwarven City. It's been quartered.
Very good. Yes, T.R. Bassett. Each quarter leads to another. An ingenious place to do it. Both because it's fairly fortified, but also because of what's underneath it.
Underneath the Dwarven City.
Yes.
What is that?
Before we answer that, tell me, I heard that a town was wiped out by the cult.
Yes, you're right.
How did they accomplish this? I heard something of a crystal.
Orbs of destruction.
Orbs of destruction.
We don't know much more than that.
Don't know much more than that.
To be honest, I prefer that you didn't.
Oh, really? Now you're being a bit rude. Her voice drops a couple octaves as you say that. Underneath the city is an ancient drow temple. When I say ancient, it is almost unimaginable how old it is. From there are, what should I call them? Elemental nodes that you can reach. Now, there was a drow hundreds of years ago who crafted a number of keys to be left there.
In the temple.
Yes. Do you know what they could be?
I don't.
No?
A key to the notes?
Yes. What kind of key could open a node, a portal, that a cult would use? What would it be?
Musical?
Musical. How have you lived this long? How have you made it? Why did somebody send you here?
You clearly have us at an advantage. What would the keys that a cult would use?
They would be... Wait. Would be weapons.
I think his eyes would just turn to the spear.
Would any of you know about them?
It's not part of the story we've heard.
First we've heard of the nodes or anything below the city.
So just to be clear, you wouldn't know about any powerful elemental weapons.
Can I roll? I mean, I don't want to metagame it. We know that spear is powerful.
Yes.
But
you can roll. You can roll.
would it be clicking for him? 14 on insight. I think it's at least dawning.
Yeah. You got it. You understand. I don't actually, I think all of you, it's like... Mm-hmm.
Alright, I just don't want to metagame it since
No,
we
no,
know about the spear.
Certainly there are many powerful elemental weapons.
Stalwart. Priest. Follower of Tempest.
Those things are true.
You're obfuscating what I'm trying to learn. Haven't we been having a nice discourse here?
Wouldn't say nice, but
I've
sure.
been forthcoming, and you have barely answered a thing. And you do all realize that we could do this another way if you'd rather.
I think you wouldn't find our fortitude lacking if you chose the latter.
She does just smile at you with a smirk. I'm sure you were quite the man in your younger days.
Fair enough. The weapons open the nodes.
Yes. Now, tell me, are all of the cults still standing?
No. We've dealt a fatal blow to one of them. The air cult.
The air cult.
Yes.
Have you defeated their leader?
I believe we have, yes.
Interesting. Did she have one of these weapons?
I ask questions that you know the answer to.
There was a lot of treasure in that room.
I don't know the answer. Yes, there is a lot of treasure there.
I assume your spear is invisible.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't hide your spear.
Yeah, I mean, I think
She has not. Let me say this.
How magical does it look?
It's magical, but she also doesn't look like she's hesitated on your spear any longer than she's hesitated on any of your weapons.
Yeah.
never mind then.
I mean, I think it'd be more impressive if I pulled the sword out of my fucking
Yeah.
scar.
Man, I would try to bluff her.
Okay, go for it.
There was a weapon, in fact. A silvered rapier. I've kept it.
Go ahead and roll.
Alright.
Deception.
My man is good at deception, which is why.
Scoundrel.
Not good at
I'm
rolling
gonna
dice.
go ahead and spend my inspiration so I don't roll 1 on my deception check. 24. I have a plus 11 on deception.
Very good. And where would it be?
I've kept it on me.
Really?
We've both been forthcoming, haven't we?
Fascinating. I'll tell you more of what you want to know.
What's your interest in the weapon? You want to enter the elemental nodes. What's to gain?
If I'm being honest, I don't quite know yet. But that's a thing of power. A thing of power that you have strapped to you.
Yeah. He's got his 2 rapiers, like, I think they're both on the same side.
Which one did you point to that,
His old one, which was silvered,
but not magical?
not magical.
Okay. Deception was good. We'll see. That choice,
Let's see.
we'll see. I'll tell you the rest of what you want to know.
Do
Those
please.
weapons
Choose the music.
and each node can open or close a gate to the inner planes of the elements. And when they do so, they shall bring forth whoever, if they do, one of the princes of your apocalypse.
If they possess these weapons, why haven't they done it yet?
You know, that's a very good question. That, I'm not quite sure. What else they need, I don't know. Perhaps the amount of followers? Perhaps they need to unlock some other part of the ritual. I don't know all the nitty-gritty of each piece. But each one of those weapons, be warned at what's at your hip, holds a spark, an essence of one of those princes.
Utterly evil, are they?
Oh, I'm sorry, was that not a rhetorical question? Were you actually asking me if they're evil? Evil elemental princes?
Well, an apocalypse could be brought about unknowingly, unwittingly.
What you have at your side there has a spark of Yan Si Bin, the prince of evil air, the shadow of the four winds, the howling hatred. Wonderful names. Honestly, had they not been taken, I would have tried to take one of those monikers myself.
Instead, you settled on the Dark Lady. Really?
If we could only choose the names people give us.
Fair enough.
Stone! Thank you for that divine favor, my friend.
Ooh, divine favor number 2, yeah?
Well, let's
I
find.
doubt we'll need it, right?
Let's find her.
Let's put that over the edge, with also thanks to Ink and Castle Raven.
Thanks, y'all.
The other princes, if you must know, are Imix, and you'll want to pay very close attention to this, my girl. Of evil fire, the all-consuming fire, the eternal flame. Do you think you're related?
No.
No. But what if you were? What power could you have? It could be incredible. Earth, if you want to know, is Ogramok, tyrant of the Black Earth, and the Mountain of Doom. I don't know where they come up with these. And of course, that leaves water, Old Hydra, the crushing wave, and the well of endless anguish. And do you know why they're trying to bring one of them back?
I don't suppose I do.
No, of course you wouldn't. Because that once they get a foothold here, the apocalypse won't come immediately. What they're hoping for is to bring back the Elder Elemental Eye. That is going to be a very bad day.
Bad for you as well.
Maybe.
How would you like to see this all end?
Can't really decide yet. This must be right up your alley. Because I smell something slightly different about you. But you're their ancient enemy. Wasn't it Tempest who drove them back the first time?
Was.
Hopefully we can count on him to do the same again.
Through me, we may just.
Quite an ego.
He speaks with confidence that he's earned.
Interesting.
Well, this has certainly been helpful. Where do we go from here? Would you allow us to leave your domain? Unharmed?
I'm undecided. You could, of course, leave that sword in my keeping, and I not only would let you leave, I would help you.
If we leave the sword.
If you leave the sword. And, of course, you can tell me which cult you would want me to destroy.
If we leave the sword, that leaves us unable to close the node. You did say it has the power to both open and close, right?
I did, but if I have the sword, nobody's going to be opening or closing it. Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But nobody other than whoever possesses that weapon.
Unfortunately, if it's to bring about the apocalypse, I'm afraid I just don't know you well enough to trust you with that responsibility.
That's unfortunate.
I can't leave you the sword, you understand. But you can ensure that we won't interfere with your nefarious plans here. If you keep impaling cultists outside, then I see no reason we can't leave on good terms. You've certainly been very helpful, and for that we thank you, yes?
Well, I've heard what you have to say. She eyes the sword. Yes, Fire Girl. What do you say to that?
I don't think we can leave it with you.
No.
No?
Why?
What are you going to do with it?
Doesn't matter. Not bring about the apocalypse.
We got inspo. Or was that the same one? I'm sorry. I just looked and saw Raven said that.
I will cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Does that have verbal somatic components?
Are you doing those?
Mm-hmm.
What is the save?
There's only a save if she probes deeper. If she listens to surface thoughts, no save. I don't think.
When you cast a spell, and as your action on each of your blah blah blah, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you if the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind at the moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature or probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it's worried over.
If it fails.
If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that I'm probing it.
There are verbal and somatic components then?
Mhm.
Okay. You start, and she starts backing up. And she's like, no. And she's backing into the darkness, and you hear the surface thoughts. It's like, oh no, girl, that was a mistake.
I know.
You see her back into the darkness. And a far lower voice speaks. Now you've done me an insult and tried to probe my thoughts.
You can't blame her for that. She's a spellcaster like yourself.
I'm not a spellcaster. And I would never do something so heinous.
Bullshit. Given half the chance you would.
Maybe. Now leave the sword as penance.
No, I won't do that. I think Broach will draw his rapier. I won't leave the sword, so if this is what it's come to, then this is what it's come to. We can leave with the sword, or we can leave you lifeless here. And I'm sorry to threaten after all the information you've given us. I just want to give you the opportunity to rethink what you're saying right now.
No.
No, you think you scare me? We've been battling these cults single-handedly for months.
I don't scare you, old man. Is that what the voice is echoing? I don't scare you.
I think you'd be like, not much. Maybe a bit, yes. I'll admit it, yes. Maybe a bit.
You hear what sounds like a far larger form in the darkness.
Are you a spider?
God, you better not.
Yeah, it's Loth. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, good.
Y'all are fine. And what of you two? Are you scared?
I would pull my sword from like a scar in my body.
And you, priest?
Scared is not something I feel much. Not now.
If it brings you pleasure, then yes, I am quite afraid. They might not be, but I'm also confident in my and their abilities.
It did please me that you're afraid, and I do take a small comfort in it. You two, however, have far too much ego. A large, scaled and clawed hand pushes out of the shadow, and then the entire form of a strange-looking dragon.
Oh boy.
Both black, but with clouds around it, almost like it's made of pure shadow.
Cool and shit. Well, it is Drungeons and Dragons.
You
Here's the
guys,
dragon.
what is coming out? There's a stairwell behind you that looks unblocked, should you choose that option. If you think you can manage. Anything else? Before, there is a dragon sitting in front of you. I will say that. It is not attacked.
So just to be clear, you're not going to let us leave with the sword.
Like, I think he would start stepping backwards.
I mean, I cast Spirit Guardians if I have the opportunity. It's,
Okay.
It's neutral until I tell it not to be, so.
Okay. One trying to leave, one preparing. One pulling a sword. Like that'll do anything. What will you give me? Even if you don't give me the sword, what do I get if you leave and you live? You have entered my home.
What
We-
if, when we complete our mission, we can bring you some of the keys?
No. No more deals.
So a hypothetical future where you beat them, and then you bring me something.
What do you want that doesn't grant you some otherworldly power?
Well, I'm open to suggestions.
Gold? I assume not.
I have a hoard far faster than you could imagine.
There's nothing. Nothing we'd be willing to offer. You know that, stalwart. Here we are. But it is daylight. We can get out now if we run.
He would say as turning towards the stairs.
Actions
It
are
is daylight,
act-
right?
Yeah. The actions are still yours. It is not necessarily.
I think, yeah, Henrik would just start kind of backing towards the door. If we can leave, let's leave.
Backing towards the stairs.
Let's try to exit. And if she stops us, we know what we must do.
So to be clear, nothing given, but you leaving.
I believe that is what we're looking at.
Consider it a gift.
A gift. Now let's roll initiative. I'm just gonna go ahead.
God, I hate this game.
Yeah. Well,
You can pull her off.
it is Drungeons and Drangus. Oh, I actually have a base too. just so you can be
Drangos and
clear
Blangos.
about where it is.
I'm gonna also grab something.
A drinky?
Nope.
Oh.
I can get you one. It'll take me a while.
Well, where are you in initiative?
I rolled a 3.
Okay. How dead are we?
Are y'all mad?
Nah.
It's the first dragon you faced.
I know. I'm all about a Drangus. Just posting a picture on the Twitter box real quick for that. You want to get initiative set?
Yeah. Let's do that. So,
Taking Spirit Guardians off, I assume.
oh yeah. You did. I really thought you were gonna leave that sword.
You know what?
Should have, idiot.
It was the sword his son made him, man.
I was like, man, if he leaves that fake ass sword.
I thought about it, but then I think he was just like, nah, I'm not even leaving that.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I'll go last. I volunteer.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
Question for you, my dude.
Yeah.
There is sunlight coming through the hole that we descended?
Yeah. It's still dim light down here. It is a cloudy day. So, yes and no.
Just wondering if it seems like it's tiptoeing around that spot.
Haven't really seen yet. I mean, the hole you fell through was not that large.
Thanks, honey.
I brought another one in case someone wants it. Just leave it right there.
Trade it for inspiration.
Yeah. Sean, I'll give you a bubbly.
What did you roll initiative, Lydia?
I did, yeah.
What did you get?
I can roll it again though if you want.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's plus a
unfortunate.
2 though, so it's a 5.
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
This is fine, you guys.
Are you sure it's gonna go first, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Feeling good about this.
No shame in changing your mind. Make it like a goblin instead of a dragon.
Look, it got its nails done!
I'll give that bright enough light and that circle right there.
Describe to me the rubble around the hole we fell into. Was this board, like if I look up, is it feet worth of stone masonry that's left, or is it all pretty rickety up there? Like we're just on the roof of a... Does my question make sense?
Yes. It looks like beyond like that spot,
Yeah.
I mean, this is maintained and like the archways are there, but I don't know. I don't know that you fully know. There was plenty of rubble from where it came in. If you're trying to enlarge in the hole, I think you can try. But I don't know how successful it'll be.
Okay.
But yes, you can
I'm
try.
just gonna
to.
casually go read about Shatter real fast. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you know the words?
Yeah. I listen to it all the time.
Nice to have fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just the crowd singing the words back at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
When I say, you say.
First thing that happens is you see that behind these walls here, before she even acts, darkness, like a cloud,
Like a magical darkness.
is spreading behind her.
Mm.
You see that happen before anything else
Oh,
happens.
you farted?
Please say
Embarrassed
that.
for laughing at that.
I'm really digging her mani putty though.
Okay.
That's the wrong way if she's trying to retreat, just so you know.
God, I wish we had a barbarian.
She will not quite get in the sunlight. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws, please.
okay.
Oh, right. I did well for once.
Okay, I'm good.
I'm not. I'm gonna reroll.
Burn it. We got 2 inspos. 2 divine inspos. We
Two
got the
divine
Stump
favors.
inspo.
As
Who was there was Stumpy and who?
Stump and
Miss
well,
Misery.
Miss Misery.
Miss Misery
Yeah, 'cause it was
subscribed, and
yep.
Stump, Raven, and Ink
Yes.
all
on the other one, right?
on the other one.
I rolled an 18.
23. Project is
14.
Okay. Okay.
Project attempts a GTFO roll. This should be fine.
I feel fine.
We're ready to start a new campaign anyways, Sean, so kill
Yeah.
us, man. I dare you. I don't dare you. I love
Oh,
Project.
he has to make a wisdom save.
Oh, he sure does! Ah, Spear Guardian's OP.
So if he dies from this, I guess whatever he was about to do won't happen.
Okay. It got a
Spear Guardian's OP, please nerf.
got a 17.
Success. So we take 6 then.
6. It's a she, my dude.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Okay. Alright. what you see is the glands of the neck raise up, and shadow and the acrid smell of corpses and death wash over you as she just, and for a minute the light is blocked out as you are covered.
Why'd you roll that many?
So that's a breath, man.
Glitch?
13, 15, 25, 35, 40, 50. That's 56 damage for you. Half of that for both of you.
You still up?
Barely.
So, my con save would be for 28, so I can't make that, right? Isn't it half the damage I just took?
Yes.
So
But you took
But you would have
you
taken
took
half,
half
so your
damage.
con is 14.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we took...
You
Oh, right,
passed
okay,
your deck
right.
save, so you took 28 damage.
Gotcha. So I have advantage on my saving throw, so 14?
You
That's,
win.
I think that's just what you
That's
needed.
exactly what you needed.
Yes, it's just what I needed.
Okay, well that sucked.
Yeah.
That's all.
That is. So as it hits you,
Was that necrotic?
it is necrotic. You saw your limbs just withering around you. Something about it, you imagine, your life feels like it has been sucked out.
I do feel like that right now, actually.
You said that it's 40 feet up, right? So
Oh, so you're
the stairs probably 60 feet or something
I think
to get
so.
up. Okay. Broderick is going to Bardic Inspiration.
Adara, listen to me. You have to get out of here right now.
Give her Bardic Inspiration.
Go! I mean it. Run!
And then he will hold his action to cast a spell.
Got it.
And would take a step here.
Stalwart, don't leave my side. Go, Adara!
Okay.
That's Broderick.
Got it. Adara.
I'll leave. I leave aside. How far can I get?
Let's see.
Yeah, I hope he dies. And I hope he burns in hell.
So you were 15 away, so it was to the top is
You said
was
40.
75 feet because you got to go up the stairs. So it's 75 feet from where you were, so it's 60 feet from there. What's your move?
30.
30. So you got.
Make it most of the way up.
Dash. Yeah, you'll get most of the way. You'll get out next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just so you don't even see her.
So we don't even see her.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean she's like up here
Okay.
right now. I'm gonna keep her just by me,
Okay.
so I'm reminded that she's here.
That's fine.
Henrik, it is your go, my friend.
So with the concentration spell,
And my triggering condition was the end of Henrik's turn, right? Is that what I said?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
with the concentration spell, if I am concentrating a spell on Dragon
you can't
Lady,
cast two at a time.
no, I know I would be ditching the other one, and I leave while having a concentration spell on her. Does it break when I get?
When you
Oh,
get
that's line of sight.
range,
Probably
yeah.
out of sight. Unless it's a spell that doesn't need sight, but
Yeah.
most do.
Banishment.
Banishment doesn't need
No.
sight. Because you couldn't have sight.
Is she from this plane of existence?
No.
If you banish her, she's not coming back.
I'm fine with that.
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Okay, I'm gonna cast us some banishment.
Okay. What's the save?
It's a wisdom, I think.
Charisma. Of
Charisma?
15.
Oh, 15?
Yeah,
Okay.
we got some rerolls just so you know.
Legendary.
For a moment, she blinks out, but she instead
Legendary resistance.
pushes through.
Welcome to the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Next level, Andrew. All right. Your Broderick could wait and watch. Oh,
Let's go!
dimension door 500 feet out, which I think if we're 40 feet down, then he's gonna dimension door to like outside of the manor.
Okay. It was on a hill. You're underneath it. This thing.
I mean, he can picture the place in his head.
Yeah,
and
okay.
go there. So you tell me, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go
You make
to
it out.
500 feet.
He grabs you, and you two, there's no save, right? You don't need to do anything. Okay. You two are into the woods, like, and you kind of both tumble. You don't take any damage necessarily, but it's as exact as you could make it being in the center of a place. And you two crash 500 feet into the woods down the hill.
Good luck.
We need to be out to meet Adara. She could be pursued.
I fought a dragon before.
Okay.
Oh,
What you got?
I just forgot. I just remembered I had something.
What was it?
Misty Step.
You did not remember that.
Burn that chance.
That would have got you out.
I
I would
know.
have given you something minor, but no. Okay. You are so close to the top, but the dragon.
If you die, I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
I tried.
It's okay.
If you are in enough sunlight right now, though.
Basically.
I mean, because you're, it's
Out.
pouring in.
Yeah.
What's your armor class?
18.
Frank, that got you.
Yeah, let's re-roll that 9. dude.
Okay. What's that?
Yeah, it's a 13.
Ah, yeah. I think that got you. You have
Shot.
you have one more. I'll continue it.
I'm at 13, so I'm gonna go down. So
Oh,
I got
damn.
Yeah.
I'm saying you got
Susan.
another divine. reroll.
Do it. Sorry, Lid.
Wait, do you have... Okay. Oh, never mind.
I got you.
bye.
Does your Bardic Inspiration can't add to your AC, or could it?
Oh, yeah, it totally can. You got Bardic Inspo.
Okay. So
So what?
the lowest I rolled
Was a 13.
was a 13.
Well, it was a 9.
Oh, it was a. Yeah, because I was at disadvantage. Yeah, it was a 9.
I don't think we would have burned any of them, knowing you had that Bardic Inspo.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know I could do that. Too.
I don't know what
Okay.
his to hit
Okay,
bonus
okay.
is. You okay with all that?
Yeah, you want to take back those, right?
Yeah.
Take them back.
Got
Take
it.
back the Inspos.
And
Bardic
roll that.
Inspo. Bardic Inspo.
You roll one. Oh my god.
well, then we'll.
So
Then
what?
we would have done the rerolls. then.
So what was your total?
19.
19.
Mhm.
With that inspiration, it swings in for a bite, and you just manage to dodge as its face crashes in to the wall behind you,
Holy moly!
opening up a little bit more sunlight, and you can hear the sound of a both of you.
So we did burn these, I think, after
No,
we
no.
rolled that one.
You
No,
did not.
okay, cool.
If you rolled that one to start with, she would have been fine.
All right.
So
You
those are there.
You are generous. my
Misty
friend.
Step wouldn't have really helped me though, because I can only get 30 feet and it's only a bonus action.
But you use an action to dash, and your regular move, Misty Step would have got you out.
Regular move.
Dash as an action, and then bonus action to Misty Step. You could have gotten 90
I thought a
feet.
dash was a bonus action. No.
No. Okay.
Hang in there.
There's
It ain't over.
didn't get you with a claw. And another claw.
my dude. Oh my god!
Oh my god, no.
Reroll that. Last roll,
No.
last roll.
Ah!
Divine inspiration saved us! Yes!
A 20 and then a 1.
Woo!
With a 1 and the inspiration from the gods.
Thank you, God Stumpy.
1 barely misses, the other is coming directly at you. You honestly don't know why it missed. All you know is that behind you, the claw gets stuck.
I'm gonna throw up.
And it just... Roderick.
Oh man, he would whistle as loud as he could for Shimmermane.
Okay. It's trained. It hears. It'll take, show up on your next turn.
Gotcha. And he'll start running towards the entrance where
Gotcha.
he knows that she's gonna hopefully come out.
Adara.
I'll, Misty Step.
And then dash?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then run.
Yeah.
You, as the claw is stuck right over your head, you look up, see some of an adjacent room up from the top of the stairwell. You look back into the eyes. The eyes are death. They're just death incarnate. And they look deep into you and you're just... And you end up there and you hear just a screeching roar.
Woo!
With that, for a moment, a head peeks out and starts crawling up after you, but you're running and it's... And it sinks back into the manor. But you all do hear, "This isn't the end!"
Like, haha, that's hard to fake.
With that, you've come out of the dungeon, and at least for now, escaped a dragon. So my job's done.
There is a dungeon and a dragon tonight.
There were both. Drungeons and
Dungeons
Drungons.
and
Dragonos.
Alright, that was scary.
That was really...
I've never faced a shadow dragon. I don't know anything about them.
I don't like them. Don't know them. Don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're big old babies.
Are they in the monster manual or just they're like a template
It's
that you
a
can
template
apply,
that
right?
you have to put. So the one that's in Beyond is like a young red dragon one, but this one has
It's
this,
in the book or something.
this one's like put the shadow dragon template over this one's stats.
Okay.
Nice.
So mostly that just changes the breath weapon.
Judging by how many dice you rolled there, I'm
Yeah,
assuming
that
it was pretty nasty.
disgusting.
Oh no, because this might not be the end. There's
No,
nothing
don't
to
tell
tell
us,
there.
don't
So
tell us.
I did type into the chat just now, oh my god, thank you. So
no,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. We're past that. We're past the game.
Thank you guys for saving our bacon.
Yeah.
Me
Yo, well,
specifically.
Adara, really.
She would have
Man.
been bacon.
Let me just say, what about a dimension door?
That would have been 3 in a row that Adara died.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't have saved you this time.
No.
I don't think I had any diamonds.
You would have
No.
been gone.
Even if you had, you would have to go back inside.
That's cool. I was already like, what kind of elf am I going to play now?
Man, I thought Broderick was about to sacrifice himself. I was like, damn, he's telling them to go. He's taking a step forward.
No.
And then I loved it. We're out.
So what was the
Man.
thing that made him get the 20? Would he have been able to do that
Legendary
again?
action.
So,
Yes.
just make times zero.
Certain creatures have legendary
a
actions.
number
It's
of
not
times.
yet. It's limited. But it's basically they can roll. Oh, I failed. No, I
kidding.
didn't. I passed.
God, I know.
That's how you make. There's a couple of things that make really powerful creatures more powerful in D&D. Because essentially, as you know, getting into the nuts and bolts here, typically just being outnumbered is a huge disadvantage in D&D. So they offset that with 2 things. The first is layer actions. On initiative count 20, big bads in their lair can do something nasty. Like some dragons can make spikes grow up or like
Yeah.
thorns, like the green dragon.
You saw
that.
a bit of it. It didn't end up coming up, but the darkness behind her was the lair. It could do a number of other things, but there's not a specific
Yeah.
shadow dragon one, so
Kind of had to make it up.
Yeah.
sort of.
So typically they have like 3 layer actions they can choose from. There's really 3 things. The second thing is legendary actions. They get a number of points that they can spend to do things
In
after
between.
someone else's
Yeah.
turn.
Like had you attacked, she could have
Been like,
flipped her tail around.
Right. And then the third thing is legendary resistances, which is, oh, I failed that save? No, I didn't. Bring it. So when they fought Tiamat, she had like 6 legendary actions and like 5 legendary resistances and stuff.
the only reason we beat Tiamat was because we had that fucking barbarian with resistance to everything.
Oh my god. Kothai literally, I think, took like 700 damage
Yeah.
that fight.
Well, all I did, I didn't hit a single thing. All I did was like heal Kothai, heal Kothai, heal Kothai.
You were great. You were like, channel divinity, heal him for like 400 hit points or whatever.
Oh, here's heal, here's 70.
Luckily, I had retorter, so every time I got hit, I made
got
that
hit.
attack at advantage.
Yeah.
So it was just.
He had this awesome sword called Retorter, which is when you get hit, you can immediately spend your
Retort, yeah.
reaction to attack back with advantage, and it overcomes all
I
resistances.
think I remember that from our one shot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
God,
So-
that was so
Yeah.
fun. I think about that Tiamat fight
That
all the
Tiamat
time.
fight was awesome. Woo!
Man, that's the first dragon I've seen since we left fucking...
Yeah, been a while
Tiamat.
since we fought a dragon. You guys fought that that undead dragon in hell.
Yeah.
For that long weekend. Remember?
Did we actually fight it? I thought we just like
Oh, maybe you
encountered it.
didn't. I don't even remember now. Did you guys
We
fight
did.
it?
Oh, we did fight it.
Yeah.
Did we?
The Draco Lich?
Yeah, the Draco Lich.
Yeah, 'cause
it's barely a dragon.
It burnt us to a crisp as giant eagles.
Yeah,
then we
it
came
did.
down and we were
That's
all
true.
fighting.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
That's true.
The old flying tactic.
Yep.
It's worked out super well.
Well, thank you guys for joining us
Yeah,
tonight. We
thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
I felt like we needed a dragon, y'all.
Yeah, it was
Thank you
time.
so much for saving my...
Oh, should we raid somebody? There's
Yeah.
not a lot else going on that I saw. Let's go
Kimages.
search. Is Kimages on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's show Kimages some love. We like a Kimages. Let's go raid her.
I've got us, Kimages, and Bites and Brews on.
All right, raiding Kimages. Thank you guys for joining
Thanks,
us.
everyone.
We hope you will come hang out in our Discord. Link is down below. Really enjoyed that game. Whew. I wasn't sure about how that was going to go down. I didn't know she was a shadow dragon. That was really cool.
Banran said, what's a Kimages?
Yeah, when you get the quest, they can be like, yo, the Dark Lady, she's the Shadow
Hey.
Dragon.
Turn this on. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I know, we still got to